Alright, we're good.
Be like,
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
Hello, Bussin' with the Boys listeners. This is episode 314 of Bussin' with the Boys. We are your hosts, Will Compton and Taylor Lewan, and this podcast is presented by the Chevy Silverado. The Trail Boss is the truck that's built for big weekends, so of course, it's the only truck we trust for the biggest weekend in sports. We're in New Orleans for the big game festivities, and we're doing it all in the Silverado Trail Boss. If you're following on Instagram or Twitter, you've already seen it. The custom Bussin' with the Boys Trail Boss, that thing is awesome, and you know they've got a saying down there in NOLA. Taylor, you know what that saying is?
What's that saying?
Let the good times roll.
Wow.
Well, in our Trail Boss, we've got the good times rolling on 721 or Z71 suspension with a 2-inch lift. Good to know in case we find ourselves in the swamp. The Silverado Trail Boss has top-tier power with 495 pound-feet of available torque paired with all the latest tech. So whether you're tailgating or hightailing up a mountain for a ski weekend with the fellas, whether you're going on an impromptu road trip, an impromptu off-road trip, or a little detour down to the Big Easy, the Silverado Trail Boss is the truck that says no to nothing. Every weekend, learn more about the Silverado Trail Boss at Chevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Together, let's drive. What a beautiful... Oh, I thought you were like putting the mic down like we were finished. What a beautiful time to be in New Orleans, dude. It's like 75 degrees all week long. Big game. We're right by Bourbon Street. Everyone's having a good time. We got the Barstool guys hanging out. It's going to be amazing.
The birthplace of jazz.
Allegedly the birthplace of jazz. I don't think it is, though. Mississippi Delta.
ChatGPT told me it was the birthplace
I took a
of
blues
jazz.
class. Shout out Bruce Comforth, my teacher. He asked me not to take the class. I don't think it is. I think it's like a common misconception.
And what area do you think is?
The Mississippi Delta.
See, look, the birthplace of jazz is widely recognized as New Orleans, Louisiana.
But I feel like Bruce Comforth, my blues teacher at Michigan, shit on that. And he was like, a lot of people think it's this, but it's actually the Mississippi Delta. Robert Johnson, he sold the devil at the crossroads. Those types of things. Right? Crossroads.
Yeah, you might.
Sure. Motown's Memphis? No.
Detroit.
Big Cat is also
we
here.
have Big
He's
Cat
in the
building. He's in the back.
You could tell that that was tough.
ChatGPT
Sherman
Cat.
Motown Records is in Memphis. I'll say this. Listen, this is not a history podcast. This is a sports podcast. Our guests today were the two stars, the hosts of Part of My Take.
The
Big
top
Cat,
sports podcast
PFT,
in the world.
Just absolutely gracing them with our presence. Hey, if you want to be in the intro, you can go ahead and sit here.
Motown is Detroit. What are we talking about?
That's
Detroit.
That was a crazy miss. It was a crazy miss. Big Cat's here.
Fun fact, Motown is in Detroit. Cat GPT. He has corrected
Cat
us.
GPT. Yes. But dude, great podcast. A lot of fun. Some good bro time, talking a little bit of ball, talking about the PMT, how they started, where they got to, PFT and Big Cat, the way they met. Absolutely beautiful.
I do feel like we got into some good storytelling.
Yes.
Do you think so, Big Cat?
Yes.
I feel like we got into some good depths of the origin story of both Big Cat and PFT, finding, pardon my take, the surgence of that while they're in the company, a younger company that just got acquired by Penn at the time, or churning. My fault.
Taking the leap of jumping into the podcast world as quickly as they did once PFT got to New York. Just a crazy time.
Yeah, how Bussin' with the Boys can still try to succeed outside of Barstool Sports by following everything that they do.
Yep.
We'll just have to drop our episodes a day later. But a lot of good stuff, a lot of good stories. If you are in New Orleans this week, highly recommend, the Acme Oyster House? A lot of meat on those oysters.
A lot of
very
meat on
good
those
oysters.
It's the one place Will's eaten as we've been here. We got here at 10 o'clock today.
Are you more of a raw or char grilled oysters guy?
I am more of a char grilled guy. I do like oysters. It's not my favorite thing in the world. Like I see the way you and JP salivate over it. I like a charboiled. That's what it's called, charboiled.
Char-grilled.
Char-grilled, char-boiled, whatever, Rockefeller style. I like a little bit of Parmesan on there, some herbs, some butter. That's what I like on my oysters.
You like a little southern mix in your oysters.
Yeah, I like some fixins on top of my oysters.
That's what I'm saying, the whole fixins thing. And that's why I like the raw, because I feel like you have a variety of things that you can do with said oyster versus just having it one style or
And
one
I
way.
love where your head's at. Let me take you a little bit further. I like to get my charboiled oysters that already have fixins on them, and then I take more fixins and I put those fixins on top.
All right, we got an episode that I think you'll love and enjoy with pardon my take. And we will kick that off right after this ad read.
Right after this, we're going to do an ad read right after. It's been 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think
right.
we can jump into it. I think
Let's do
everybody's
that.
excited to
Can
hear.
I be honest with you? I'm nervous to read this ad in front of Big Cat. Oh, you think so?
Hey, you can't do it on that. It's the one on the screen.
Gosh, that's a bigger one. That's a big one.
No, you don't get to
Damn,
use
hold
the
on.
paper. You got to
Hold
read the
on, hold on.
screen.
Yeah, no, I can't read the screen. I can't see it, dude. My
Come on,
eyes are
dude.
too
You got to
bad.
read the screen. You do it
Yeah,
every
my
week on the
eyes-
bus.
Even my eyes are getting worse, dude. They're getting worse.
You do it every week on the bus.
This
All right.
is the
No, no,
first
no.
word. Is that the word that you're worried about?
No. Just reading in general publicly has
Okay,
always been a
you
fear of
got
mine,
this,
and then
you got
also my
this.
eyes have gotten worse. We don't, dude. We interrupt this episode to bring you DraftKings. This ain't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. This is Super Bowl LIXI. Get in the action.
Oh,
no.
LIXI?
That's an
That's an
exclamation
exclamation
point.
point.
Dude, I told you
Do
my
you
eyes.
know what LIX is?
Yeah, 59.
Okay, there we go. Just say 59.
But I think it's fun to say the thing sometimes.
LIX.
Get in the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and you have
Stay
a
in it.
shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code BUS. That's code BUS, B-U-S, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Let's
Hey,
get into
you
this
did it.
podcast.
You
Let's
did
get
it.
into the podcast. I see it. It's the eyes. It's the eyes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being there for me. I appreciate you making that nice. Did you like that?
LIXI? Oh.
Oh, let's get the episode. We're rolling now. It's good.
Yeah, Big Cat was our first Super Bowl episode last year, and the audio was
Just weren't on.
It just
the mics
wasn't
never
working.
were on.
It was insane. Who was the audio guy that did that?
we don't want to say his
Armando.
name.
Armando.
You have
He's a
that
sweet
name
man.
ready
He
to
was a
go.
sweet guy, but like that was a really bad fuck up.
Dude, look
In
at
the
all the JPs here.
We had a sound guy in Scottsdale that I think he screwed up the audio of the post Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl where Max was like super, super sad and it just disappeared. And I think, did Hank have to spend like a couple hours tracking him down? That's the luxury where me and Big Cat are at, where now like if the show is over like that and there's a big fuck up, we're just like, well, at least we don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
That's Hank's
Yeah.
problem.
And then you said you're like, all right, we're never going to get a contractor in this remote location again.
Well, we do sound guys every time we do these trips, and it's funny because they just become like part of our show for an entire week. This week we have a guy named Ian who was wearing a legit train conductor hat yesterday. I don't know what was going on.
He wasn't asked to. He just put it on.
Just
No,
train
he showed
conductor
up.
hat. But we got some weird guys. There was that guy in Houston who was like, where do you live? He's like, I live in the woods.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
He wore
Cool,
all
dude.
he
black.
does audio in the woods.
It was like 102 degrees. He was wearing black jeans, long sleeve black shirt every day, same outfit. And he just went home to the woods every
Yeah.
night.
And there was that other guy who laughed at all of our jokes, and we're like, we want to keep this guy.
Yeah.
He would literally like laugh out loud, which I don't think you're supposed to do as a sound guy while we're recording.
But it adds a nice element
yeah,
in
it was
the
just like,
background.
this is sick. Like,
It's a
hey, you don't
confidence
laugh at our
booster.
jokes anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because you listen to like Two Bears or any of those comedic podcasts and you hear the laughing in the background. It's like, oh, this kind of brings,
yeah.
Nice.
brings
It's
the
like-
show to life a little bit.
Have you ever tried to watch an episode of Friends without the laugh track on?
No.
No.
It's very depressing.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
did
depressing.
see a clip on Instagram the other day of like it was a scene of Friends with Ross, but they edited out all the characters, so it was like Ross has schizophrenia. It was hilarious. There was no laugh track in that.
What's
either.
the deal with these mics that we're holding? We're just trying to see if we have like feats of strength, something. Because This
To
is
wait,
gonna
dude.
get-
It's 2020, new 2025. Get
This
Jack
is
We just
25.
show up. We
Mhm.
just show up.
You can get traded for being fat now. Luca. Do you guys know about Luca?
Yeah, we've heard about
Luka.
Luca. We heard about the
Heard
Luca
about-
trade. I saw that. I saw he's
Big
going to
for your
Big
boy
win for
JJ.
Will.
Yeah, big for
I
JJ.
actually-
Huge
JJ.
for your boy JJ.
I don't know. Like JJ wasn't told ahead of time. Do they respect JJ enough?
Do they respect any of those guys enough? Wasn't Jason Kidd just sitting at the podium?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
That
I
was
didn't hear
sad.
about any of it.
Yeah.
That was sad. He was just sitting there with a 1,000-yard stare. Why was he even there? Like the GM made this crazy deal, and then he just had Jason Kidd sitting next to him. Like, if you have any questions for Jason, feel free,
Yeah.
chime in. And Jason was like, you ruined my life.
Yeah.
Or Jason might have just wanted to sit there and be like, I have to sit on this so people know I had nothing to do with it.
Have you ever seen those like press conferences that people do if they get caught doing something like really fucked up, cheating on their wife, and they bring their wife with them
Yeah.
and have them sit there?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what this was with Jason Kidd.
It was
He-
when Kobe had got the big ring.
Yeah.
Remember he got like the biggest ring ever for Vanessa?
Yeah.
Jason
yeah.
Kidd was
See
like,
this?
I
I
mean,
didn't
when
do
McGregor's
anything.
wife was next to him during the lawsuit,
Yeah.
walking everywhere around
Yeah.
with him.
What a
Like,
ride or die for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lock
Yeah.
down there.
Is that Robbie Fox?
That is a tough.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiger had to do a press conference being like, "I love sex."
yeah,
What are you gonna
yeah.
do about it?
Tough.
I think his mom was at that
Yeah,
one.
I think so.
Yeah, his mom was just
brutal.
staring at him. He's like, "Mom, you know me."
Yeah. Well, my dad, yeah, loves sex too.
You know, I'm horny. Love having you guys on. I was texting with you guys last week. It wouldn't feel right if we went 5 years and didn't have the actual part of my take both of you together.
Yeah.
Big Cat, we've had one, a completely botched audio. PFT still yet to ever even be on the bus.
Also, I was on the bus in Tennessee when you guys tried to smoke us out. It was like 1,000 degrees.
Hot.
Brandon literally got a migraine from it.
That was on the gravel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the
hot.
early days.
Yeah,
Very
early
hot.
days.
I am a little bit disappointed that I will never be on the bus. I've always wanted to do a podcast inside a moving vehicle. And
Mhm.
it's been my dream, and unfortunately,
That's very funny.
we'll never get there.
Their
Well,
bus doesn't even move.
I hate to let you
doesn't.
down. It doesn't move.
yeah.
Oh, really? Well, yeah.
We could tow it though.
I mean, Vanny.
Vanny's
doesn't
gonna
really
be
move.
back soon.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that right?
you guys got to watch out.
In a big way.
Vanny's getting refurbished. Vanny's gonna be able to.
What's
to
going on
hit
with
the
Vanny? What are you
road.
guys doing with Vanny?
It was dead. So Vanny, we bought Vanny. Was it 7 years ago for $500? Did a bunch of stuff out of it. Did interviews. Did Grit Week, and then I kept on paying the car insurance, and it was just like, this is stupid. We're never using it. It doesn't work anymore. So we told Billy to scrap Vanny. We're like, take it to the scrap yard. Here's the title. Turn it in. He's like, got it. He's like, all right, all done. Title's done. You don't have to pay insurance anymore. And then 2 years passed, and Billy hit us up and was like, hey, what do you guys want me to do with Vanny? And we're like, what do you mean? You said you scrapped it. He's like, yeah, I didn't. I just kept it.
He
Just
found a
sat on
parking.
it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's back to life.
He essentially, I mean, he found a parking spot for it that it sat there unbothered for a couple of years. So as far as I'm concerned, like, good job, Billy.
It's-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a win.
It's basically like when they do like a movie or a show does a lazy thing where they kill off a main character and then their twin brother shows up. That's what happened with Vanny.
Yes.
Like, oh, actually, it's not dead. So yeah, we're gonna get Vanny back out on the road.
How long was Vanny alive before he was dead? Like, how often did you
2
guys?
years?
We used it.
I remember Bo went on that, right?
Bo
Yep.
went on. We went to Youngstown for a bocce tournament. We went and interviewed JJ Watt in Wisconsin.
We blew a tire after that
we went to
bocce
the
tournament.
draft.
We went
And
to
then actually
Danny
got
Woodhead.
yeah, we went to Danny Woodhead. We went to the draft, driving back from the draft in Philly, got pulled over. Only time it's ever worked. Cop was just like, he came up to us and was just like, oh fuck, it's you guys. And he's like, all right, just be safe. I'm like, okay, cool.
Would you get pulled over? For?
I think none of the taillights were on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if
Just,
Vanny does
just a
not
little
work.
electrical. nothing
Yeah,
big.
right.
Yeah,
Vanny
that
is,
makes
is
sense.
not very safe. There was a hole in the floor of Vanny, so when you're driving on the highway, you could just
Piss.
see the
In
highway.
the driver's area.
It's-
It was like in the middle area. We also we were driving once back from Youngstown. All 4 tires blew out at the exact same time, going 70 miles an hour.
No way.
Mhm.
Yeah, Vanny. Turns out when you buy a van for $500, that's what you're paying.
you're gonna
for.
have some problems.
But
Yeah.
And did you guys drive this
love it.
yourself, or did you have it sent places?
No, we drove it. We all got in there and drove it.
That is
Well,
hilarious.
Big Cat drove it.
I drove
Big Cat
it.
has an issue with anybody else.
I like to
driving.
drive.
Yeah.
I'm-
You're the
I'm
driver.
very
I
similar
get
in that
car
way.
sick too in the back.
The first trip we ever took on I think it was the RV.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd like to drive. Big Cat was just like, what?
I get car sick.
No, I drive.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I'll just
All right, yeah,
chill.
if you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, women's equal rights. Like my wife will split.
That's
I'll
very
split time
progressive.
with
of you.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife will drive you around?
Yeah.
Not you, right?
I think my wife has driven me one time, and then 8 years we've been married.
That's right.
Taylor and
I kind of hate. I kind of wish
I
it
always
was
knew
more
I
like
liked you
that
more.
because I get on
If
Taylor
Taylor
all
and
the
I-
time about. I was like,
I
I
would-
would love to be
I always
chauffeured
knew
around.
you were the
the male and the
Oh, this is
Yeah,
it. This is where the big pivot
this-
finally happens. All right.
Yeah.
I know anytime
Ending
we
on
are
top.
The 140 million you got, that's because of Taylor.
anytime we do get in the car, I know I'm good because I know he'll drive.
I love driving. I do.
And my wife too. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
she's like, all right, I'm driving this time because you got to deal with the kids in the back.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That does suck.
There's
Because
a-
when
there's a
you're
big win
driving
about
with
road
kids,
trips.
you can just be like, I'm driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I got to focus
What
on
do
the
you want me to
road.
do?
Spaced out for a little bit. We went to 38. We did the whole drive from Nashville. There was like 8 hours. And that's the whole time Taylor was out there working with the kids. And I'm like, I got to focus on the
Yeah,
road.
gotta focus.
I got to focus right here.
Safety
Keep his
first.
family safe the entire time. I'm actually doing most of the work.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like you're the hero there. Speaking of the 140 million, have these guys like spent any of it? Is it like Goodfellas where, you know, JP1 comes in with a mink coat and you're like, guys, the deal hasn't even done yet.
Yeah.
Send it back.
The deal hasn't even started.
Send it
yet.
back.
You got to go back to it.
Which one's JP1?
That's JP1.
What's JP2?
Just right down the line.
Oh, this
and
is how it
then,
goes right here.
and then there's Sherm, who you got to watch out for Sherm.
There's no doubt about it.
Sherm thinks he's a little bit of a star. Sherm also doesn't follow me back, which is just a total fuck you to me. I followed him.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sherm, you don't
Sherm?
follow?
Yeah, yeah. He's Sherm
You didn't
thinks
know that
Sherm
Big Cat
thinks
follows you.
that
Big Cat's got 1 million followers. You didn't know that he followed you?
Sherm thinks that he's next up.
He is
you gotta
the-
watch out for these.
He's
type
the
of
next
guys.
S in Bus with
He's
the Boys.
looking. He's like, oh well, Taylor's got a lot of injuries. He might, it might be me sitting in that bus with Will. I
Sherm,
know
is that true? Is that
Yeah,
true?
Yeah. 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 I like your stuff.
Speaking of spending money, and with Sherm, before this deal was even done, anything.
What deal?
Sure, you know deal.
The apparent
The
$140
$140 million
deal.
that you guys
Are
keep
you talking
talking
about your
about.
NFL contract?
Yeah. We were at the shop, and Sherm doesn't live far away, and he talked. Our shop's really small, and Sherm was talking about getting a communal moped for the shop.
Yeah.
for us
Yeah.
all to drive
Scooter,
around
like a
on.
motorized
That's a good idea.
scooter.
And it's like, Sherm, we don't like. There's literally you walk 10 steps to the end of the shop.
Right.
That's all you need. It's like it'd be great for the guys' morale, knowing that
Watch
he would
out
just
for
take that
Sherm.
Guys,
I mean,
could
if I
use
give
it.
you advice, watch out
coffee,
for Sherm.
meat sticks
Yeah.
go missing with Sherm.
Yeah. I listen, if we did True Serum with all the JPs, they'd be like, Sherm's a problem. Because he's the last one to show up.
Yeah,
and
Big Cat knows it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
guys-
we're just gonna basically try to create.
You sniff
discord
that out
before
well
we
because
leave,
that's
yeah.
a well-known fact.
Oh,
on Bussin'.
yeah.
Sherm, I think you can do it.
Yeah,
I think
you're the
they're
star.
they're keeping you down.
yeah.
Oh, what are you
How much?
doing
They,
right now?
How much they paying you, Sherm?
Enough.
What's
not enough.
Aaron,
What about
nice.
enough?
Enough-
What about
enough to keep him
times
quiet.
two? Enough.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting. Well, give me a call. Well, once you follow me, you can DM me.
Literally,
All right.
as soon as this whole the
Name a
actual
number.
split up between Barstool and us happens, Sherm's gonna come and be like, "Hey, I'm going to Chicago."
If there was like
Big
a,
Cat called me.
Big Cat was
She's
the
gonna
one
go
too. He was ready to give Jack. He's like, I'm going to give Jack that Chevy Silverado.
Yeah.
You
I
start
was-
picking our guys off one
So-
by one.
In my head, when you guys completely screwed over Jack and didn't give him a Chevy Silverado, which justice for Jack, that was bullshit.
That's crazy.
There was a
Here he goes
moment.
again. He's going Team Jack.
There was like a
Where'd they get
20
you last
minute.
time?
There was a 20-minute moment where I was like, I might just buy Jack a Chevy Silverado, big dick these guys. And then I was like, wait, that's not that funny for like $70,000. But there was a moment where I was like, this
It
would
would
be
have been
cool.
the ultimate. It would have been the ultimate fuck. you to
Then I
us.
was like, oh, maybe I'll just rent him one. And it's like, that's not funny. So
You
but
know,
they deserve. You deserve a Chevy Silverado.
I would get you one.
Yeah.
I would.
If he still worked at
If
Barstool.
you still worked at Barstool, I would get you one.
I'd match.
Yeah,
We'd
and
get two.
you'd have 2 trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be sick. I wish that there was like an account that, you know, the ones that follow NBA players and let you know like who they're following now
Yeah.
online. I wish that there was one that did that for podcasts that were like Sherm now follows Big Cat, and then everybody's like, "What does
Eyeballs.
this mean?
Sherm's not
what's
happy.
going on?"
Drama.
So you're trying to steal
Trouble
our
in
boys right now.
Paradise.
That's what's happening.
What was the account that Kyle Kuzma followed?
Oh fuck.
What was her name? It was
God
like
damn
this
it.
thickness.
It was, no, it was even better than that.
Hey, so what is this account that says who follows who? Because you
Yeah.
said you know that account, and I said yes, but I actually have no idea.
Oh, they just like follow NBA players, and every time they've got like a bot written for it, and every time an NBA player follows somebody new, they put out a post like, "This person just followed this person on X."
Sometimes it happens too in the NFL with like if a trade might happen.
Yeah,
Like when AJ was unfollowing
The Titans.
Yeah, unfollowing the Titans. He's officially unfolled the Titans.
yes.
did you guys
He's
ever
gonna
do
be
that?
shopping.
You ever
No, I
unfollow
never did the
your
unfollow.
team?
Never did the unfollow. Never did the delete posts of all the things.
Do you
No,
still
bro,
follow
but-
Barstool?
What's that?
Do
Yeah.
you still follow the
Yeah,
Barstool?
forever
accounts?
will.
Okay, yeah.
When I was
Got to keep up. We got to keep our creativity alive.
Yeah,
You got to do things new.
that's
We'll
true.
keep something going.
Yeah.
Let's see what part of my take's doing.
Yeah. Oh, they got a van. Hey,
We
should
should,
buy a
yeah,
van.
we should block them. Big
I
Cat,
was
we
thinking
should- we
about
should
it.
block
I was
them.
Don't
thinking
do
about
that. Hey, don't do
muting
that.
them.
Whenever
This is
Washington-
Not
hurtful enough.
Sherm. Sherm can.
Whenever Washington unfollowed, I was pretty heartbroken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
They
they
unfollowed
did?
you?
Yeah, whenever I went to the Titans, like they unfollowed me, and I was sad boy for a little bit. I was
That
like, damn,
sucks.
I thought like I
You
was
got
still
my
cool
brain
with
very
everybody
small.
over there.
I
know.
You still support the boys though, right?
Yeah. I'm not like I'm not like with Washington the way I am with Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
With any
Hey,
of the NFL
congrats
teams,
on the
really.
portal transfer.
Washington wins.
Thank you.
They win some games every now and again. That's
Raiola's-
Do what?
what I'm saying. The difference is Washington. They win some games.
Yeah, now they're in the
Conference
driver's seat.
Yeah.
How-
Are we worried about Raiola looking a little pudgy?
No,
That's
I think he
You
gets
want that.
better with weight.
Little pudgy.
You saw them getting Pat Mahomes shit for me having a dad bod.
I understand.
And now he's
but
doing
that's
his
Pat
three-peat.
Mahomes. You can have a dad bod when you have 3 Super Bowls in there.
I had to check. Titans
Look,
still follow me.
There you go.
Raiola's
Yeah,
going
that's
to be
good. I
nice.
feel good about that.
Raiola's going to be nice.
Okay, I'm just saying.
And
he
number
looks a
one transfer
little-
class in the Big Ten. I know you saw
little
that.
That is not
Pudgy.
according to On 3. We had this conversation on the plane.
Yeah, but we don't have to get into it. On 3 is like all encompassing transfers who also left. 24/7 is just your transfer class that
it's
comes in.
very
So wouldn't the
simple.
argument be all encompassing then?
No.
It's very
You
simple.
still-
You go
Hey,
with whatever
Big Cat,
service
Wisconsin's
gives
like
you the
back.
better ranking.
Wisconsin's like 15th out of 15
Whatever. We
teams
got
in
some
the Big
shit
Ten.
we're dealing with. It's fine.
What are you guys dealing with?
It's just
Fickle out?
they keep scheduling the hardest schedule in the world.
Who y'all play this year?
Everyone, name a team, we play it.
Oregon.
Yes.
USC.
Alabama, yes. Michigan, yes.
I got a
Ohio
question.
State, yes. It's the hardest
brutal.
schedule in the
You
country.
guys have too many whites. Like whites are definitely making a comeback in football, but not this big of a comeback.
Oh,
We interrupt this episode to bring you Eroxon. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, erectile dysfunction.
True.
1 in 4 men 18 years and older experience ED, which means that you or someone close to you might be experiencing it too.
Yeah.
That's why I want to tell you about this new ED treatment gel, Eroxon. It's the first ED treatment gel with clinically proven results that you can get over the counter. And while it may not work for everyone, studies showed success in over 60% of men. The best part? No prescriptions or online questionnaires needed. Why wait? Try Eroxon today, available in stores and online. Just visit eroxon.us to learn more. That's EROXON.us to learn more. Back to the episode.
Mm.
do you think who would be on like the all white team if we did like
In
the
football?
NFL? Yeah.
Do you think that they would beat the All Black team?
I don't know. Do we have enough time? How long does this podcast go?
As long as you want it
As
to be.
long as
This
you
sounds
guys
like a great
want.
original idea, though. What do you
Okay.
got?
Who
Yeah, we should think
who
about it.
starts at quarterback? We're going Josh or Joe?
I think, yeah,
Josh.
either one. You let them battle it out for a couple
We
weeks.
got a problem though with cornerbacks. We got Cooper DeJean,
Riley
Moss.
Riley Moss. I don't think we have a problem
Ethan
anymore.
Bonner.
Ethan Bonner, and then who's our edge rusher? Is going to be TJ.
You got
Max
Max Crosby.
Maybe,
Crosby,
maybe.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. What about wide receivers? Ladd.
Yeah.
Ryan McConkey's definitely in there.
We got
Big Cat just
Luke
trying to go through-
Luke
he's trying to go
McCaffrey.
through the entire roster
What are you talking
right now.
about? We're just doing
It's a
We're
good
just
squad.
spitballing.
It's a
Yeah.
good brainstorm. It's a good brainstorm.
a good debate.
Cooper Cup. What about running back?
Running back is tough.
Will
Christian
Shipley?
McCaffrey,
Does
I don't
Puka
know.
Nacua make it?
I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to him.
I think Puka is. We definitely can claim him.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Puka.
comfortable claiming people.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that's
then me either,
voluntary
then me
thing.
either.
Yeah.
Wait. What do we do for running back?
I don't know.
CMC.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. What
but
the fuck?
that's
No,
easy.
but,
CMC.
but I don't know. I don't know.
Is he retired?
No, he's not retired.
Oh, Scatterbo. Yeah,
Scatterbo,
Scatterbo.
yeah.
Put
Scatterbo.
Scatterbo
Here's a
out
question:
there.
we were talking about this before the show. Do you think who has a better career, Ashton Genty or Scatterbo?
Probably Ashton Genty.
Why is that?
I don't know.
He's better.
Upside.
Do you think he's better for real?
I mean, I love watching Scatterbo.
Yeah.
I feel like if he goes to Denver, Sean Payton is going to be like, Taysom Hill is back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That's your
he's
guy.
younger, and he's maybe not quite as good a passer, but this kid is going to get the ball in
But
his
he can
hand.
You
run
saw
the
him.
football
You saw him in the
40
game against Texas.
Yeah,
He had a great pass.
yeah.
Yeah.
He can get
Yeah.
it done.
Scatterbo is good. I mean, there's so many running backs in this draft.
Yeah, the thing that got me on Scatterbo, because Ashton Genty to me was like, obviously he's gonna have the best career out of all of them. But then Scatterbo in his pregame press conference being like, I'm gonna bury Texas. I'm gonna go to work on them. Basically giving all the bulletin board material
Yeah.
in the world, and then actually doing it.
Yeah.
It's like
and
he
it looked
might
for the
actually
first
just
half
keep
that
doing
he
it.
wasn't gonna do it.
And then all of a sudden he started going
Just
crazy.
a little puke.
He's
and
throwing
then-
up a little bit, little
Yeah.
boot and rally.
Damn.
Do you guys ever
2,600
have,
yards.
do you ever feel real tension between the whole Jaden Daniels?
No, I've
Caleb
given up.
Williams?
I don't
I've
really
given
feel any
up.
tension because I'm just too busy being happy.
There was
Are there
tension
any
for-
days that you come in and you're kind of like, I'm not going to say a whole lot because the
No,
work
because-
speaks for itself.
No, because I don't think about how Big Cat thinks about my quarterback at all. I love watching Jaden play, and there's nothing that can I'm not going to come and be like, man, maybe I shouldn't talk about Jaden as much because Big Cat's sad. No, I fucking love Jaden Daniels. He is the best. I've never had as much fun watching a quarterback as I have with Jaden Daniels. Now, Big Cat might be upset that I'm so happy.
No,
But frankly, I don't care.
I was for a little bit, and then and Jaden Daniels, I reached a point where I was just like, he's fun to watch, and I can't really. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Like you can't be like
some good things.
Like I don't like when there's a lot of people who are like, oh, first read guy or this or that. It's like, oh, he's got a Cliff Kingsbury. It's like, dude, he's just good, you know.
Yeah.
And hopefully Caleb Williams progresses because that's the one thing I will say is the internet, and this has nothing to do with Jaden Daniels, but the internet has shit on Caleb to a point where it's like if you polled people, you'd be like, he had a terrible season. It's like, no, he didn't. He had a pretty good season for a rookie, given the fact that his OC got fired. His next OC became head coach 3 weeks later. His head coach got fired. I don't know. I think he's going to be awesome at Benjamin.
I do think that Caleb's going to be good. I genuinely believe
everyone
that.
said he was going to be the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype. I mean, that was 2 years.
People basically said he was going to be Jaden Daniels.
The 2 years, the 2 years thing always is tough. We just had Andrew Luck on, and we were talking to him about it. Like when you're the consensus number one pick for 2 years running, people get exhausted of you, and they tear you down. And Andrew Luck actually had a great answer. He was just like, "No, I was that good." He was like,
that's awesome.
He's like, yeah. I earned that. And I was like, I want that answer. You know what I mean? Just be like, no, I didn't even think about it because I knew I was that good.
I wish he was still playing so bad.
I know.
I'm happy he's not.
I'll put it this way. If somehow, sorry to interrupt, but if they put Caleb back somehow into the draft for next year, knowing what we already know about Caleb, if for whatever reason they were like, no, Chicago Bears, you're not allowed to have this guy anymore. He's going back into the draft. He would go number one.
Yeah, he would. He's better than Shedeur and Cam.
Yeah.
I guess that's you could say that.
I think J.J. McCarthy would probably go ahead of them.
J.J. would probably go one overall.
Yeah, probably. Even though he didn't when
he was in
drafted.
a tough spot.
Yeah.
Imagine the emotional roller coaster J.J. was
Even though
on
we
all
literally
season.
played this scenario and he didn't go one overall.
But he could. I bet if
And he
go
didn't even
this
play
year,
this
probably
year.
would.
I actually think he's going to be good, J.J. McCarthy.
Think about JJ's his season roller coaster. Like he gets hurt, everyone's real sad. Oh, the Minnesota's gonna be really bad. Then Sam Darnold goes off, and they're thinking, oh, they're gonna keep Sam. JJ, you probably get traded, and then the playoffs happen, and Sam shits the bed. Like
but they were
just
never
tough.
going to keep. I mean, they were maybe going to franchise
There were
tag him.
legit conversations going on.
They were never.
I think
going
if he had beaten the Lions, if he had won his opening round playoff, if he had lit it up in the playoffs, I think they would give him a contract.
I think they would have
Like,
franchised
How
tag him.
do you walk away from that?
Yeah,
but
but
you
start
have a
playing-
cheat
start playing
code.
that
Some
Kirk Cousins
crazy-
game
Yeah,
with them.
you have a cheat code with J.J. McCarthy on a rookie deal. Like you can make your team so much better.
But if you have that good of a record, and then you go to JJ,
You
and
franchise.
get rid of Sam,
You franchise tag him. You should be like,
Yeah.
do it again because it's
That
like the
sucks.
Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had one good year, and they're like, oh, this is the year that he figured it out. No, he had a year that was outside of what his normal is.
If the Bears got the redraft from this last class, do you still want Caleb over Jaden?
No, he'd probably take Jaden. I mean, I still believe in Caleb, but I mean, Jaden was incredible this year.
incredible.
I mean,
Yeah,
can't
I was just
fight.
curious
That's
where your
the
mind
thing,
was.
The fight, I can't fight it anymore. He went to the NFC
Yeah.
Championship game.
PFT, do you get a little nervous though that the last time the Washington team had
Now that's
a rookie
mean.
sensation?
it's mean.
Now
No,
that's
no,
mean.
that's
Well,
not mean. That's actually
he said
that's a
that's-
real.
I mean,
how's that mean?
It's mean because obviously I get very nervous about it all the time. I live in fear every game. Every time he gets tackled, I say fuck. Every time somebody hits him, and he takes some hits where it seems like his knee's gonna break. Like he got hit by the Falcons one time,
Mhm.
just bent over his leg, and I was like, well, there goes my happiness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
That's
I
it.
got another solid 15 weeks in this season.
He needs
Who's
to go-
running this, by the way?
Sure.
Sure.
We didn't know who RG3 was
Mhm.
until he pulled him off.
Might jog your memory.
Yeah.
Might jog your memory.
Yeah.
Here's who we're talking about.
Of course, I get very nervous all the time with him, all the time, because if you get one bad hit, it can screw everything up. But I think the way that he plays is a little bit different from Robert. I think that his rookie year already way better as a pocket passer.
Yeah.
So when he runs, yes, he takes big shots. That makes me very scared. But
But even when he runs, like he'll take big shots, but there's other times where he can tell it's over, where RG3 will try to dive, and he just kind of gets down.
yeah,
He's smarter about it. Seems like he's a little smarter about his mortality.
So let me ask you this, Will, especially because as a linebacker, you can't really hit quarterbacks, right? But Lamar Jackson does this, and Jaden does this too. Instead of sliding, sometimes they dive at the legs of the linebackers, like head first, shoulder first. I feel like that's a very smart move because it's like you're not going to absorb that hit where you're sliding, your head's close to the ground. You get like one little deflection and bounces off the turf as a quarterback. I feel like the dive at the defender's legs is a better move.
I honestly agree. And I guess my thought is like when did quarterbacks fumble the ball all the time before, like, you know, if Lamar and Jaden are kind of normalizing diving forward, isn't that the whole risk of like why guys don't dive in the first place? And I have no basis on that other than I don't remember quarterbacks fumbling a lot when they were diving, except for outside of when you're playing Madden. You seem to always fumble when you dive.
Every time.
There was one play where RG3 was diving forward. I think it was his second year, and he just dove forward and then just left the ball on the ground, stood up, walked back to the huddle, and the other team just picked it up. They're like, "Yeah, that's a fumble." And RG3 was like, "Yeah, that's a sucky rule," and so he like blamed the rule afterwards, and then they changed it.
That was the old Plaxico, right? Wasn't he the first to do it? Didn't he just drop the ball? I want to say Plaxico.
It's like the ball is more
as
exposed
a
when
rookie,
you're diving.
he like went down and just dropped it.
Yeah, because he's like college.
Yeah, it's over. By the way, it was Ms. Thick Overload was who Kyle Kuzma followed, and then there was like Kyle Kuzma's now following Ms. Thick Overload, and then everyone retweeted, and then it was like 4 hours later, it was like Kyle Kuzma has unfollowed Ms. Thick Overload.
God, that's so tough.
Yo, how sick was it when you guys had your appearance on Hard Knocks?
That was cool.
We were with you.
That was
we were
very
with
cool.
you out of Camp Barstool.
That was very
sick.
cool.
It was fun. It was very fun.
You remember though, I'm so paranoid that like any media outside of like Barstool is gonna just like rip us somehow because we've been burned so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, they're like, oh yeah, we want to put you in there, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna be like,
here it goes.
They're just it's not like burned. It's just gonna be like, they're not gonna say, oh, pardon my take. They're gonna be like, in the controversial, you know, blog Barstool Sports.
Right. Like the world outside of your guys' fans are going to
because we've had that a million times where it's like someone will come in and be like, oh, I want to do a piece on you guys. And then it's just all a hit piece. And all that
I
shit.
feel like it's kind of turned for you guys. Like between that, you guys being on the Nickelodeon when we were streaming.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did they ask you about that?
No, we had no idea.
So you're just watching the game, then all of a sudden
it was the
Leo
meme.
Yeah.
We were like, what the fuck?
It was
That
Adam
is
Schefter's
awesome.
daughter too.
Yeah.
That introduced us. That would have been funny if she was like, and problematic
Yeah.
and battling podcasters.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was awesome.
What of all the things you guys have been doing this for so long? What is like the coolest thing you guys were like, holy shit, look at that?
It's a good question.
Thank you. I've been doing this.
I think
Pro.
anytime like the Spotify thing that happened last week, where I don't know if you guys saw, they gave Spotify's doing like plaques now. So they did Joe Rogan and like a crime podcast had like 500 million downloads, and then we get a silver plaque because we're like 250, and it was like us and like 3 other crime podcasts. Those moments are always like, holy shit, like that's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Big time. You guys have lived in that Spotify top 3 for, I mean, as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
we've been pretty fortunate. I was gonna say maybe the coolest thing is at the start of the football season this year. I think it was opening Sunday. I wake up in the morning and I have a text on my phone. It's sent to me and Big Cat from Chris Berman.
Yeah.
Just wishing us a happy start to the regular
Yeah.
season. Like, enjoy this, boys.
Those
Football
are-
kicks off today. And I'm like, wait, Chris, like the guy I used to tune in and watch every Sunday morning is like reaching out and personally welcoming me to the 2024 NFL season.
That is awesome.
It's like
crazy.
those like Boomer or like even Jerry O'Connell, who we interviewed Jerry O'Connell. The first time we interviewed him, we just said yes because we had like kind of a policy where it's like if it's in person, we'll just say yes and see how it goes. And like an interview like that, we were like, he doesn't know sports. He's just going to talk about acting. And then he's become like a institution in the fabric of like our little world.
Yeah.
Those type of things are so cool.
We tried to cancel that interview.
Yeah.
The very first one.
Yeah.
Because me and Big Cat love to cancel plans. It's the most fun.
Best.
And we finally got a booker that would like
Slip the cancel plans.
hold us accountable.
The best.
And shout out Kelly. She would like hold us accountable. And we told her like the morning of, yeah, I don't really want to do this interview today. And she was like, you're doing this fucking interview. Yeah. I booked it. We're like, okay, yes, ma'am. And Jerry came in and just blew us away. We're like, we love this guy.
Yeah.
And Jerry's a good guy.
You guys don't like canceling plans? Oh, it's the best feeling when
we
you
like to forget plans.
When you have like a interview where it's like, all right, I want to do this interview, but it's not like I have to do this interview, and it's like, oh, the person can't do it. It's like, oh, great, another hour of just doing nothing. I could do anything with this free hour.
Yeah,
now.
if you're
And then I
especially
just sit
if
and
you're
scroll
up in the
Twitter.
air.
Sit in your
Yeah.
phone.
You're up
Sit
in
in
the
that
air.
one chair in the gambling cave.
It's the
and
same.
just sit
It's the
there.
same thing of like trying to find a movie on a Friday night with your wife, being like, "Oh, what are we getting?" And they're like, fuck it, I don't want to watch a movie and like give up 2 hours. Let's just watch 7 episodes of The Office.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, thank
Been there
God we can go to
100
bed
times.
early.
It's like, I don't have time to sit down and watch a movie. Let me just sit down for 3.5 hours and watch South Carolina and Clemson.
Like, who do you guys have scheduled for Friday of this week?
Fridays we're leaving.
Oh,
potentially.
bon voyage. So that's it. We'll never see you again.
That's up to you.
So we're doing a 4-day work week?
It's actually kind of up to you guys.
No,
No,
we're an open door policy at Bussin with the Boys.
We're an
the,
open door
pro-
no,
policy.
then the door staying open.
You playing a pro-am?
There's some pro-am going on Friday morning, and we might have an interview.
Mike,
Wait, you're
I
playing.
kinda don't wanna say it 'cause I don't wanna
don't
jinx.
say it because if it doesn't happen, it's
I know.
It's a maybe
Gonna be
right
a
now.
big interview.
It's a
it's
maybe.
not. I mean, yeah. It's
Potentially.
gonna be
Bryson.
Who?
Bryson. Oh,
Bryson DeChambeau?
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on now.
Sean
That's good.
Payton.
Parlez-vous français?
No,
Wait, who is that?
Bryson DeChambeau?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
There he is, right there. Bryson.
Oh yeah. What's he do,
Bryson
golf?
DeChambeau.
It's bombs.
Wait,
Yeah,
so
it's
when
bomb.
does the deal actually end?
The end of this month. The end
So-
of February.
So
So this is like the week of like the going away week. It feels like it's over after this week, but it's technically not over until the end of February.
got it. And then what is going to change? Is anything going to change?
Not really, no.
Mm-mm.
I-
Still stays the
Sponsors.
same.
Okay.
It's like you're going from wearing the green dot to now coaching the team.
Yeah.
thought about that?
Yeah.
Do you
That's
get
a
mad
nice analogy. That's a
that
nice
Will
analogy.
has CEO of Bussin on his LinkedIn?
Just
Just ask
someone showed it to me the other day too. No, it's
Will's.
awesome.
Someone posted Will's. Like
You see some
list
of the bios,
things, yeah, the
too?
list of things that he did in college, and it was like he put himself. He was like, worked with clients, and then parentheses beast.
Something like parking the cars.
I don't even
for
know Will
massive
really had. I
sales.
didn't know he had a LinkedIn until like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will's CEO. So nothing's gonna change.
No, nothing is going to change.
Are these guys all good?
Yeah, they're all
They
with
getting
us.
a pay raise?
Except well,
There-
Sherm's
there's-
on the rocks after this conversation. But other than that,
There's negotiations going
You
on.
didn't get a pay raise, Sherm? You're the star
Oh,
of the
not yet.
show.
I like that. I
Slowly.
like that.
People
Did you-
turn
he's
in
gotta
for
work-
Do they
Sherm.
do they buy you guys lunch?
yeah, I get you guys coffees.
No, he says no. You say yes. You
Garrett's
say
lying.
no.
He knows we get him lunch.
Who brought the last catered lunch? Oh,
You brought it to the shop.
No.
Who
Well,
dished him some cash?
Bagels last week.
Thing about
Nice
us.
tip.
Thing about us is we take care of our boys.
We take care of our
I just
boys.
dropped $120 on lunch for all the boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I believe in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
We
so
take care of our
We got
guys.
5
take-
guys
We ain't
for
got to
them.
defend ourselves.
Yeah, we get 5 guys. I had Smash Burger the other day though.
Five
Have
guys
you-
is overly expensive.
Never
burger,
had
so you
Smash
get to
Burger.
win.
Have you had Smash Burger? Smash Burger's real. I think Smash Burger's next up.
Oh, I don't know. I go 5 guys in and out.
We're doing this.
I think In-N-Out's overrated.
What?
This is the first time we're. This
Yeah,
is the
you're
first
great.
time.
What? We're just spitballing.
We're just talking.
No, but you
Burgers.
guys have you had Smash
You
Burger?
do, but hold on,
yet?
you go 5 guys
Have
over
you guys
in and out?
done
No,
this?
I've never had.
Smash Burgers.
No, this is our
it's
first time.
Very good.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about burgers. So
You wanna
I
talk
think
about
5
burgers?
guys. I think in and out.
Are
If
we
the
ranking
fries
ranking
were,
burgers?
Have you guys done this? I'm sorry. Have you guys done this?
No.
yeah.
Okay.
No,
the
no,
fries-
fair
So
game.
in and out. I mean, I get in some weird energy here. In and out is the best burger, but the fries are a little overrated.
I agree with all that.
Okay.
The fries at Five Guys are so good.
So good.
And they give you so much of them.
Yes.
They fill up the bag.
Yeah, the
with
bag.
True.
Cajun
Yeah.
fries.
True, but the burger, we're talking about burger. If we're just talking about a burger.
If we're talking about the burger, it's got to be
In-N-Out.
in and out.
yeah.
It has to be. Do
I
you
can't
agree?
believe
Five
we haven't thought about
Guys.
this
No,
Five
Five
Guys.
Guys,
Five
in and
Guys.
out, dude.
I think Five Guys is better burger.
I
You
think
get
you're
all
wrong.
the toppings on there. It's you
The
get-
toppings, that's what I
Yeah.
think.
What burgers?
I remember
Yeah.
having a conversation a long time ago about this, but if you give me too many options for the burger, now that we have a problem, because I get too excited about all the options, and then my burger's a mess.
Well, just know what you want. and
I
make
need
a
to be
choice.
told how to have my burger.
What was the other?
You're a little sub.
what
I
was-
need combinations.
Yeah.
Hey, give me like 4 or 5 combinations. I'll pick one.
You're like, choke me out, Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Tell me what I want.
Yeah, tell me what I
Walk
need.
me around on a leash.
Exactly.
What was also on our list? Oh, do you guys think that the NFL players would be better at NBA or the NBA players would be better at the NFL?
I love how he's prepared more for this podcast than we did.
He couldn't wait.
We told me
Couldn't
to
wait.
just find us all the debates.
I mean-
just sprinkle them in.
Just replay the hits.
Yeah, Luca at offensive tackle.
Yeah.
I think that'd work.
Yeah, I mean 270.
270.
What were
big
you
boy.
weighing at your heaviest?
316.
316. So
That
we
was
gotta
the
get him a
absolute
little-
heaviest there ever was.
Did that feel so uncomfortable?
It was terrible. I was more of like 308 to 312. Anytime
you-
I got over 312, I was like, I gotta
Did you tell the story? Or it might have been someone else, like saying like in college you had to wake up in the middle of the night to eat.
No, yeah, that was me.
That's brutal.
Shots of olive oil.
Oh,
Go to Peter Piper Pizza, get the Alfredo pasta with chicken.
oh.
Smack.
LeBron
that.
would be a great tight end.
That's true.
LeBron.
Oh, he
would be a
played
great
in high
tight
school.
end. Yeah, he did.
When the football guys were at the game the other night, and he's like standing next to him. That is like a
I don't think
a
though.
moment of, oh, shit.
Tell me this: if you put Wemby, he's 7 or something, 7'6".
He's like 7'5", but his wingspan's like 8 feet.
You put Wemby goal line package, he just takes one step and you throw it up to him. Who's defending that?
Cut him.
Cooper DeJean.
But the ball, that's pass interference.
No.
Now the
That
goal
is
line-
pass
Not if he's on a defensive lineman. Usually a defensive lineman.
No.
puts his hand up.
I'm saying he's tight end. He's out wide. We'll put him out wide. He's a wide receiver.
Okay.
All right, and he just takes a step and you just throw the ball up. His hands go up to
Yeah,
like
that could
10
be it.
feet.
That
He
could
can
be it.
touch the rim standing on 2 feet.
Anytime basketball players are brought up in football, I think of Draymond Green in the spring game at Michigan State.
What
Yeah.
happened then?
You didn't
got
see
bullied.
him? He got bullied. He was out wide. He got hemmed up by someone way
So
smaller.
you
than
don't
him.
think NBA guys could play in the NFL?
I do not think.
What about the white guys in the NBA? If you were to make a team of all white NBA players playing football,
Yeah.
I don't
Who
think
you
I know
got?
That'd be a
enough
quality
about
football
basketball.
team.
to be
Jokic.
honest.
That'd be a quality football team.
We wrap this episode to bring you Kevin's Natural Foods. If you haven't tried Kevin's Natural Foods, you're missing out. I love the cilantro. Is it cilantro chicken? No, over there, dude. Cilantro lime chicken, dude. They have teriyaki chicken, dude. The way they package this stuff, it's incredible. You
Hey,
put it in there.
I
it's
promise you, the
unbelievable.
2 heaters are actually displayed right here. It's a Thai coconut chicken and the Korean barbecue style chicken.
Thank you, Will Compton.
There's also an orange chicken. There's also General Tso's chicken.
General Tso's is such a heater, dude. And a piece of nostalgia. This podcast was actually birthed over General Tso's chicken.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful? If you want delicious protein-packed meal on the table in 5 minutes, Kevin Natural Foods heat and serve entries are perfect. These clean, nutritious meals taste like something you'd get at a restaurant. Kevin's entrees include fully cooked beef or chicken and incredible sauces. So all you need to do is heat and eat. Plus, they're free from refined sugar and gluten-free, making them the perfect choice for anyone looking to fuel without sacrificing flavor. Skip the greasy takeout and grab Kevin's Natural Foods instead. It's the perfect mealtime hack when you're too busy to cook and want healthy food. Honestly, it is faster than takeout too. Kick off 2025 with Kevin's and make it your healthiest and tastiest year yet. Look for Kevin's Natural Foods in the refrigerated section at your local grocery store. Let's get back to this episode.
Can you guys name 10 NBA players? Don't use LeBron, Steph, or KD.
No.
Kevin Durant is going to be my first one.
We got 10. We got 10.
While Will's thinking, play that clip of Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
okay,
Nice.
yeah,
That was huge.
Luka.
it was literally right.
Luka Doncic.
Luka.
Joel Embiid.
Yup.
Mhm.
That's 3.
Doesn't really play.
The horny guy.
I'm trying.
Who's the
not
horny guy
there.
that played for New Orleans?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's not there.
I got to see this
The
list.
guy
that
that
you
played for
quizzed
New
him on.
Orleans. John Wall.
4.
Wow. Is he still playing?
I don't think he's
I
playing.
don't know if he's still
Still
playing.
Kyrie
around?
Irving.
5.
Mhm.
No, I'm
Taylor, get
really
us
I'm
one.
really enjoying.
Get us
This.
1, Taylor.
Um,
Get us 1, Taylor.
what's
John,
the dude from
John
New Orleans?
Morant.
Yep.
Yep. You're on fire right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, dude, I gotta.
Do you guys
I'm-
make
I'm
NBA
panicking.
picks?
I'm panicking.
Butler.
Wait.
Yeah.
Butler, what?
You
Well,
know.
no, we're on the same.
Which-
you know
which
him.
Butler?
Butler.
Wait, what Butler?
Jimmy.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
7. We're at 7.
Everyone calls him Butler.
Butler.
Is Chris Bosh still playing?
Damn.
No.
He's not playing anymore.
It's like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Dumb question.
Damn, bro.
Oh. Singing some.
I don't know.
lyrics. Some D'Angelo
LaMelo
lyrics.
Ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Taylor's
Bro-
on the board.
Bronny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian.
That counts. That counts. One more.
He's like, did I already say LeBron?
Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
yeah, there we
10.
go. We got 10.
Fuck yes.
Hey,
That was
handled it. You handled
huge.
it.
Bronny,
Sports
you got-
podcast, man. We do it all.
Bronny.
Yeah.
we do it all.
Bronny
I'm gonna
was
tail the
huge.
shit out of your NBA bets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't wait to see him, huh?
It's
Wait,
gonna
so-
be-
It'll be unreal.
but they're all gonna be
I'm
all
planning
those
on getting
guys.
an NBA. I'm gonna get an NBA this offseason and try to figure it all out.
Okay, yeah.
So 3 years, 140 million. Are you guys going to come back after that?
Mark Titus was on the case race saying just 140
million. He just started saying it, and I was so drunk. I was like, "Did Will lie to me? Was it 140 million? What the fuck?"
Hey, by the way, you see what I'm rocking?
Yep.
Them B Walkers.
I stepped in cake and threw
Hey,
mine
those are
out.
nice. You actually got them for that?
Yeah, but
That is awesome.
I stepped in cake and threw them out, so people were mad at me for that.
I see. I had the cake on the bottom. I still took them.
just cleaned them out. Yeah, it was a good time. The case.
That was a
race.
good
Those are
time.
nice shoes.
That was a
Yeah, I'm
good
sure you
time.
guys had a really good time.
Oh.
How was Will's heartfelt message?
It was good, except we were so drunk and we had a random guy in the background. It was. I mean, we all knew it was going to get to the heartfelt spot. It
I
was
gotta be
just
honest. I don't remember the heartfelt conversation
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Really?
I not a word. I'm sure if it got played back for me, I'd be like, oh yeah, this sounds familiar. But
when
was-
I
was
saw
in
it
the
on
moment.
Twitter, Will posted it, and I was like, "Oh God, this is gonna be tough to watch." I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks.
I thought it was beautiful.
It was just, we all knew it was going to go that way. It's like you get drunk with your boys, you drink someone's vomit, and then you say you love them.
Bro, I forgot that we did the vomit drink.
Did you drink any?
Yes.
Oh.
I took that
Whoa,
spoon.
what?
This cat Deutsch, he can
This is the
eat-
guy that.
Yeah, he can eat a bunch of ice cream and then he throws it up and he's like, I swear it tastes like a milkshake.
Yeah.
So they pass it around and he's doing everybody's doing like a spoon tasting of this milkshake.
We all
That's
tried it.
disgusting.
Yeah, he told
Did you
us.
do it?
No.
He told us like
No.
6 hours before when we did the regular yak that day. And when he told us, we were just like, oh, well, this is going to lead to me eating someone's vomit later tonight.
Yeah.
And that's how it did.
Yeah.
Where are we at with Beer Olympics?
Are you guys?
Are we invited?
Are you guys going to commit?
Yeah,
Where
we
is it?
committed last
Wait,
time.
wait,
We were
wait,
the
wait,
only
wait,
people
wait,
that
wait,
didn't
wait,
fucking
wait,
back
wait,
out
wait,
last
wait,
time.
wait,
You
wait.
kicked us out.
There's no.
We
guys
never
said
backed
you did
out.
the
You
game.
forced
did
our
the game.
hand.
We never backed
You-
out.
There's countless clips of
Shane
you being
Gillis,
like, I don't know, I'm not going to
Bert,
do it. I
all
don't know.
these
Let's go on the
people
yak. Let's
backed
look at the
out.
list.
And then we stayed. We never said we're out.
You guys were patting us on the head.
We never said we were out.
We were-
Yeah, did we complain about having to do it? And
It said it'd be
And
a
the
shame if it was
Vegas-
canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a real shame. But I
Yeah.
remember Big Cat texting me and he was like, hey, no more bad vibes, no more bullshit. Like, I'm in. We're in the foxhole. And I remember being like, I'm really happy you're saying this because when Dave pulled all that production, it's like we were in hell.
yeah,
We were in hell
No,
trying
it
to keep our head
sucked.
above water.
The whole
And then when
thing
Big
sucked.
Cat
Our
was
first move
to
with Big in
continue
Hell was
patting
kick
us
you
on the
guys
head,
out.
I'm like, we
Yeah.
have to do something.
It was a good move. You
It
guys
was
made a
fun
good
though.
move.
We had a lot of fun. If you're doing it again, I think this is the last one, right?
Allegedly.
I mean, I can't drink beer anymore. Like I drink 10 beers and I puke. So I'm in, but I'm gonna puke.
I just
feel like you
don't.
make yourself puke though.
I just can't. I'm just old. I'm washed.
Time out. Are you guys in?
I used to always. I mean, I was.
Where's
a
it gonna
puker
be?
In
It'll be in
college.
Nashville.
backyard.
In Nashville.
It'll be in Nashville.
I'm in.
my backyard.
I'm in.
Listen,
Can we
hold
not
on.
do the 3-beer chug to start?
No.
That's hard for me.
Here's the thing.
I
is
beat Quentin Nelson.
I'm willing to
People
bend the
forget,
knee
I
on
beat
less
Quentin
alcohol,
Nelson.
Yeah.
but I think the 3-beer chug is so elite.
I
It's
think-
it's a great like let's get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like
it
we're
is.
getting a sprint.
Here's my.
But you have offensive linemen out there, and they're able to drink these beers.
Yeah,
in
but
like
what was your
5
claim to fame?
seconds.
Who'd you
I
beat
beat
last
Quentin
year?
Nelson.
You beat Quentin Nelson.
And I
in the beer
told
chug
him
last
so
year.
many times. He was just like, dude, I got it.
The
He
most
told me.
infuriated I was in that whole entire thing was the end of the night when Will was pissing me off beyond belief because I just want to finish the game because it's dark. The whole goal going to Beer Olympics was, hey, we got to finish before dusk. That is like pretty much the goal. And I'm already mad at Will because he's yelling at the other people. And then out of nowhere, you come
Put
with
on the
fucking
ref
a referee
uniform.
outfit and you start whistling
It was
everything,
WWE
good
shit.
and bad. I'm thinking, dude, I'm about to beat this guy.
And I thought Big Cat was working for us.
Yeah.
No, I was
He's
like,
helping
he
us
won't
out.
stop.
You guys were doing a huddle, and I whistled you and gave you a technical, and you're like, "What's that for?" I was like, "I thought you guys were gonna kiss." And Taylor
Yeah,
looked
it
at
was
me, and
so
he was just
funny.
like, "You fucking stop,
Dude, I
right
was
now."
so mad.
Yeah, Will
so
thought I was
mad.
100% on his side. It was WWE. I just put on
He's
the
like,
ref
he's
uniform,
helping us.
keep
Taylor,
running.
he's helping us. He's helping us. I'm like, bro, he's not.
I still
He's
wanna
slowing
do-
us down.
I want to do Barstool Columbia, the cocaine Olympics, the cigarette Olympics
Such a great idea.
would be
Yeah.
incredible too. Like trick shots, blowing rings,
Wait,
a big bong hit of just cigarette smoke.
Can you just make a rule though next year? If I puke, I can keep playing.
Yes.
Because like that's the thing is like I'll puke, but it's just to get more room. Like I can keep drinking after it.
Yeah, you're acting like your stomach's
I wanna
stable or
say
something. Like
puke-
you
No,
can
I
not throw up.
puked and then I wanted to keep drinking and they're like, you can't get back in the game.
Who said
Puking,
that?
puking was supposed to
I
be
think,
okay.
Bakhtiari.
2 years ago, I want to say Hardy's wife puked, and people were up in arms about people puking. They're like, that shouldn't be allowed.
I
And we're
just-
like,
I get
whatever
full.
you guys want.
I mean, at that point, when I puked this time, it was like 12 beers in an hour and a half. I was like, I need some more room.
You know who
we
I
did
feel
the
like
math.
has to play? You know who I feel like has to play?
Who has to play?
Max.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
he's a beast.
You'd love that.
He's our Sherm.
That's your Sherm?
Yeah, that's our Sherm.
If Sherm defected to Barstool in a month, what would you do with Sherm? Would you replace him
Anything
on
you
Max?
want.
Job, whatever
Would
he
you
wants.
replace Max and Sherm?
He's a star.
He's
Put him on every
extremely
show.
talented.
Every show?
Every single show.
I just
Jersey
you know what
Jerry
I
would
would
be
do?
so sick to himself.
You know
Every
what I
single
would do?
show.
I'd cut him loose. I'd
Yeah.
say whatever you want to
Sure,
do.
do it.
No,
Yeah, you have our support.
you can't have him do that.
Whatever you need.
I'm telling
Sherm,
you right now,
got.
it's a bad idea. I've seen this guy.
100% sure.
No, Sherm. Free reign. He get anything he wants.
Dang, sure. That sounds kind of nice. I'd probably leave too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty good idea.
What's a bad idea? You'd come back to us in a month and be like, they gave me way too
Yeah,
much
one
power.
thing about good managers, you hire talented people and you let them do their thing
Mhm.
and you trust them. That's
So,
what we would do.
Yeah, we don't put him in a
We'd
box
take
like
such
you did
good
with
care of
Sherm.
you.
Have to.
You can't
Guys,
cage
take
a
that. Take
songbird.
that.
You can't cage a
You
songbird.
can open the box a little bit. You can't open it all the way.
No, I want him flying.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Let him rip.
Write
Yeah,
down a
go-
number. Just write down a number and slide me a number at the end of this, and I'll let you know if we can do it. Write down a
What
number.
Swing for the
you're
Write
stars,
down
bro.
the
You're
number
in for
that-
Beer Olympics.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm in.
Big Cat, are you in for
I'm
Beer
in.
Olympics?
I'm in.
You're in.
Because I heard it was the last one. I have to be there for the last
I'm in.
one.
I'm in.
I
My
want it
house-
to be the last one because I want to go and just be like, let's
One
Let's
rule,
do
though.
this.
One rule.
what?
And this is me just looking up.
No
for my boy.
Vegas.
No Vegas for sure. But
Great
hey,
rule.
but keep it open mind. We can't let Will be doing part of my take after the Beer Olympics.
Listen,
I
that was
gotta
one
look
of the
out for my
most.
boy. We're
That
just gonna
was
do that again.
regrettable for all of us.
Because we were upstairs and you're like, hey, Will's coming on the show. Do you want to do it? Even in my drunken stupor, I was
You
like,
were so
there's not
smart.
a fucking way.
You were
Very
so
smart.
smart.
I'm doing this.
That was a very regrettable episode of Pardon My Take.
Oh, bro, those
We don't do it
clips.
often.
Hey,
That was very
how you feel
regrettable.
about JJ?
Will, have you heard from JJ Redick since that podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
What he said?
Put him on the map.
He did. We
called
didn't.
him. We
Appreciate
cut
the
it. He
support.
called
It
him.
actually might have
Did he
been.
answer?
Yes. And I had to tell him, I was like, dude,
Actually, no.
I'm sorry Will called
No.
you. You haven't talked to me. I was like, I'm sorry Will called you. We're cutting this. And then in his head, he's like, well, I know these guys. They don't cut anything. It's like, no. I'm actually sorry. And so we had like a back and forth. It was just like, Will, what are you doing? Why are you
Hey,
calling?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive this. My bad. My bad.
It's all
I
good.
had no idea.
JJ and I are
I was just
boys,
trying to look
man.
out
He
for
knows
you.
he can
It
hit me
was
up for
great
anything.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Whatever he needs. He knows I got him.
Sherm, let me see the number.
We'll
Give me
get
the number.
We'll get mad at us for just we were talking about the Lakers. He's like, sound like you guys don't like JJ. You're ready to fight us. It's a foxhole guy. Let's see what the number
Why'd you
is.
fold it so many fucking times?
Because he does origami. Because he's talented.
That's it? Done.
Let me see. Let me see.
Done. That's it?
Let me see.
Hang on, let me see- let me
Doesn't
see a
matter,
piece of paper.
approved.
That's no problem.
He said it doesn't matter. Approved.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
hey.
no.
Double it.
That's between. I thought it would be double.
Mhm.
I was expecting double. That bad negotiating on his half. We got Sherm on a cheap deal.
It's locked in. Sherm's yours
Cheap
now.
deal.
Sherm's yours?
If he wants to, that number is no
Got to
problem.
move. Damn, sure.
You don't wanna
we
go to
lost
Chicago?
you like that.
Mm.
You want to go to Chicago?
You
You
got
want
a
to have
kid
fun?
on the
You want to
way.
have fun every single day? You want to
That
be running a
number
golf
will pay
simulator?
for a lot of stuff. Dude, he asked for $50K. You guys pay him 30?
How many?
We
different-
pay him 30.
No. How many?
We got
Front
less
Office
than
Sports
that.
is going to have a great article about this. It's going to be
How many
sweet.
different guys have you had work on Part of My Take, like behind the scenes or producer or whatever it is?
Really not that many when you think about all the years.
Interns counting too?
Yeah.
Darren Ravel.
No, Dana was an intern. Ken Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Hank, so the first 2 years, Hank had to do everything, which was crazy. So it was like the beginning of Pardon My Take, we got very big and we all moved to New York. And it was like kind of everyone was trying to find their spot at Barstool. And we kept on being like, I think this is working. I think this is pretty big. We need some more help. And we didn't get more help for a while. And then finally we got Liam, Bubba, and then Max, and then now we have Memes, Pug, Shane, Jack. So I think 7 of us now.
Mhm.
So
It's a pretty light crew.
yeah, it's not like all the JPs you guys got.
How
We had
fast?
7 JPs.
JPs.
How fast did you guys start blowing up? For when was your very first episode? Was that in the van?
No,
It was in my living room in Austin.
I would
You taped
say it was probably 2 months. It was actually the very biggest first moment was we had a guy named Kyle Wilcher on who played at Kentucky, then transferred to Gonzaga. And Gonzaga, I think, was maybe the 2 seed that year in the tournament. Good basketball player. He came on and he told us that Adam Morrison had a apocalypse bunker, and that got picked up by everyone, and it kind of like blew us up. And then Adam Morrison was like, "No, I don't. Like, people think I'm crazy." And then we had Adam Morrison on. He became a friend, which was pretty cool. So that was like the first big pop, and then it was Joe Buck and SVP later that summer.
Blake Griffin too.
Blake Griffin.
You guys love your Blakes.
Yeah, we do.
Love our
Love.
Blakes. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bortles. Like, so it was probably like 6 months that it was like, oh shit. And then there was also this weird thing where the way they used to do the old podcast, it was like, was it through iHeart?
Yeah.
It was some, or Podcast One. It was something where the numbers were not real, like they were just inflated. So I remember, I think our Jim Harbaugh episode, they were like 4 million people listened to it. It was like, that's not possible. Like, there's just no way that happened. And then they like adjusted it, and it was like, actually, it was like, 700,000. Like, okay, that's a realistic number. That's
still pretty
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
And was it just audio?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We didn't do YouTube because we only had Hank.
No, we had video for Harbaugh, right? For that first one
Yeah,
in
for some
Michigan?
of the
'Cause that was-
special ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a trip.
and we do like clips and stuff. But yeah, Hank, because it was just Hank, we didn't do YouTube.
The only video clips that we'd ever have would be like occasionally somebody, was it Kinjack, that would make the videos that went along with it?
Yeah.
So it was like not even stick figure animation. It was just like, here's a picture of Big Cat as he's talking. Here's a picture of me. Here's a picture of whatever it is that we're talking about, like Chris Jones with his dick popping out. And we make a video that way. But yeah, it was not like a video podcast at all at the start. I remember when I first moved to New York, because I moved there from Austin, Texas, and like Barstool is now, it's massive in Austin. It wasn't that big from what I saw at the time back in like 2015, 2016. But when I moved to New York, I went out for wings at this place called Woji's, which is my favorite wing place in New York. And I go there like the first week I'm in town, and the server comes up to me, and he's wearing a shirt that says "Gas and Beers and Chuckin' Nucks," and that's what Ryan Whitney had told us on the pod like 3 weeks ago. We're like, "That's a great saying. Let's make T-shirts out of it." I was like, "Holy fuck, this guy has like our obscure T-shirt." He's like the first waiter that I see in New York, and little did I know that was going to be like, a very common thing. But when I saw that, I was like, "This is kind of crazy. This guy knows about the spit in Situate, Massachusetts."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
No,
was those little moments where it's like, oh shit, we're starting to get recognized.
Now, when you guys are blowing up, kind of like grassroots, like was it like social media, like Twitter and stuff, where you guys are getting everything out there? Is it like Reddit? Are these back channels?
No, it was mostly just social media and like word of mouth. And I think we were very lucky that we came around in a time, 2016, where there weren't a ton of podcasts. And we were very unique in the fact that we were two dudes just having fun with sports and doing like another one that was, I feel like is like a seminal moment is, I don't know if you guys probably don't know anything I'm about to say, but there's a guy named Foul Ball Guy, catches basically 1 million foul balls. Like he's the best to ever do it. Literally to ever do it.
Hold on.
He does clinics on how to catch foul
He's
balls.
the best. He'll go to a game and he'll get like 5 foul balls minimum.
He just finds the right seat to sit
He knows
in.
where he's sitting. He became home run guy because he started catching home runs too, Zach Hampel. So there was over the summer, there was a baseball game at an Army base, an MLB game. And tickets were only for like veterans and active service members. And he somehow got in. And then it became this huge controversy where the other guy we had in our back pocket, Marlins man, who would just go to games and just be seen sitting in the front row. He'd go to like a World Series game and he would just be sitting in the front row with his Marlins shirt on. So they had a beef, and then we had them both on to squash the beef. And it's really stupid saying it out loud, but like those are the moments that I think helped us grow, because people are like, what is this show? Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
They were really mad at each other.
They were
too.
so mad.
Marlins
What
Man
was the
furious.
Marlins man. So Marlins man, he never makes it about himself. He just likes to go to games, sit front row, be on TV,
Barstool
wearing his
believers.
Marlins stuff. Yeah. So, and he was mad because the game at the base would have been prime Marlins man sitting on TV, but he was like, I'm respecting the troops. I'm not going to try to get a ticket.
Oh, okay.
A Foul Ball Guy
More
did
of
get a
patriot.
ticket.
Yeah.
So he was just like, this is bullshit. I should have been there. Again, not making about himself,
Yeah.
just sitting on TV.
So he was mad that Foul Ball Guy was there and he wasn't there. As
I
opposed
think
to
that
Foul
was
Ball
what it
Guy
was.
taking away from
I
the
know.
team.
Yeah.
He stood for integrity, and he was just upset that Foul Ball
Yeah.
Guy was there.
So when it was all said and done, where do you guys stand on Foul Ball Guy and Marlon Man?
I love Foul. Foul Ball Guy is a controversial figure, but I think it's one of those things you got to respect greatness.
Yeah.
Like he's the best. He's the best to do it. He's the best it's ever been. People get mad at the best. That's just the cross he bears.
Yeah.
Now, if you taken Marlon Man and foul ball guy, you put him in a dark room. Who's coming out?
Marlins man. I think
I don't know.
Marlins man.
Foul ball guy's got it. He's like a little shifty.
If Marlins man brings his cats, then I'm going.
Oh, he's
with
got
Marlins.
cats.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got 8 giant cats.
Yeah, coon cats.
I'm talking about like these cats weigh 25, 30 pounds each.
Oh wow!
And
He's got
Marlins
bobcats.
man
He's
is a
got tigers.
survivor.
Yes.
Marlins man almost died in a plane crash.
Mhm.
Marlins man almost got aborted.
Mhm.
Like at birth
Yeah.
Yeah.
or before
He
birth?
told us all this. Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
So he's a survivor. He's a survivor. But yeah, Marlins man.
Well,
Marlins man gave us the idea in 2016 to sell merch with the Barstool logo on it.
That was him,
His
Yeah.
idea, yeah.
It's huge.
and that's
huge.
that really turned the company around.
Yeah. He
So
also
Marlon's man's done a lot
enormous.
for this company.
This
He's
is
done
the,
a lot for
this
this
is the
company.
Barstool sign.
Yeah.
Mm.
He gave us
When
a
you go like
gang
this.
sign.
Yeah, when you go like that means
This is-
Barstool. No, you
Okay.
can't do it. It's only
Well, I'm still here, right?
To the end of
at the end of the
February.
month.
Yeah.
you're going stool down.
Stool. Yeah, it's always stool.
No, this
down.
is stool down.
All
That's
right,
stool
you
down.
gotta
with this
flip
right
it.
now,
Yeah.
and also Beer Olympics.
Look at this. Bang. The crowd. He just tracks the balls better than anyone. And people claim he steals it from kids. He never steals it from kids. He wears like he does all the tricks. He'll go to like batting practice and he'll have both jerseys. So he'll switch the jerseys and be like, "Oh, can you give me a like Mike Trout in his Angels jersey? Like Mike Trout, can I get one?" And then he'll switch it and be like a Yankees jersey.
Oh, he's
Be like
playing
Aaron
chess.
Judge, can I have one?
Look at him.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
last
look at that.
year?
Look at that.
Nobody
That's a good
tracks
catch.
That's
like him.
greatness. Respect greatness.
Wait, is that a kid that he's mossing?
Yeah.
But he never took it from the
Kids gotta hit the weight room.
Kid's
Look
got
at
to learn to
him.
jump.
What are you gonna do?
Look at this, right
Look.
over the kid's
Oh
head.
no, the kid's scared of it. He
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
saved
yeah,
the kid's
yeah.
life.
Uh-huh.
Bang.
Hero.
That kid.
So what are you guys doing before Pardon My Take? Like, how did you guys come across each other? Because were you writing for Pro Football Talk?
No. I was writing for Kissing Susie Colbert and SB Nation, and they were just sports blogs.
Okay.
And so yeah, I was blogging for them. I talked about it a little bit with Rosillo, but I was a used dog salesman in Austin, and then I upgraded to selling software, and then I just hated my job, and so I started this Twitter account like as a diversion to do something creative, make myself laugh, and then eventually I was like, I hate this job. It crushes me every day. I just want to try to write, and so then I was blogging at the time, so like full time, probably like 7-8 blogs a week, which for a guy like Big Cat, that's rookie numbers because
We had to
these guys
blog
were
a lot
cranking them
back
out.
in the day. Yeah,
But-
I was just blogging for Barstool.
So you
Yeah.
were blogging for Barstool
Yeah.
before PFT was even
Yeah,
around.
so I was at Barstool from 2012, and we had to do like it was a blog. It was a blog every 40 minutes, starting at 9 a.m. until 5, and then after hour blogs. So I'd write like 10 blogs a day, and then I followed
Jesus
PFT. He followed me. I was like, this guy's hilarious.
You just came across him on the internet.
Well,
and
we
he was
started
like, "This
getting
guy's funny."
people started saying that we were like copying each other. They'd be like, "Oh, that's a joke he would have made. That's a joke he would have made." And then he was in Chicago for a wedding, and I was like, "Let's grab a beer." And we hit it off, hanging out. And then we were at a point at Barstool where it was like there was like 8 of us, and it was still we were so small. So I just told like I remember we had the beer, and I was just like, if we ever get to a point where like we're hiring, like you're the first person I'd want us to hire. And then when we got bought by Chernin and did the whole move to New York, I told Dave, I was like, we got to hire this guy.
Is
and
Chernin or is this where Big Vision? They're like, hey, we're going to start getting in the podcast world.
Yeah, podcasting. So KFC Radio, Kevin started like podcasting at Barstool, which he should get a ton of credit for because at the time Dave was like, this is a dumb idea. So I did KFC Radio with Feidelberg and Kevin for a few years. So yeah, Kevin had the vision to do it early on. And then yeah, when we got bought and we all moved to New York, I was like, we got to hire PFT. Hired him, hired Caleb, hired a few different people. And then we started like the minute, I think it was like maybe 1 month into him getting hired, we started Pardon My Take. And then the rest is kind of history.
Now on KFC Radio, is that like sports centric or
No,
it was more
wasn't.
lifestyle and then you were like, hey,
It was more like we would do dumb hypotheticals, shoot the shit. And then yeah, and then we started Barstool when we got bought and all moved to New York. We started adding podcasts, and yeah, it became kind of I don't want to say we're a podcast company, but obviously that's a big part of it.
So
Yeah.
I went back because I haven't looked at these probably since they were sent, but the first DMs between myself and Big Cat 2014, April 17th. I guess the site that I was working for, it looks like they got bought by another site. So Big Cat thought I was moving to New York, and I was like, no, I'm in Austin. And then he says, do you write just as freelance? Do you have a regular job outside of writing?
I was trying to hire him right away.
I say, I'm freelance. I used to have an outside job trying to make this my career. Big Cat says, that's awesome. Start your own site or find a full-time gig somewhere. I said, I've got an ebook coming out in a couple weeks. And if that does well, there are publishers who are interested, but right now just scraping by. That was Goodell versus Obama, the battle for the future of the NFL. Are you a Southern guy originally? Barstool South has always been a priority. Wouldn't have to give up PFT. And then I was... And he says, well, if you're ever interested in Barstool, shoot me an email. Gives me the email. We're always looking for writers, have goals in opening a Southern site. And he says, and even if not, email me. I have a guy who would be funny if you try to start your own website. And then Big Cat sent me a picture of him meeting Adam Schefter.
Oh, when was that? Oh, I think that was outside of the Super Bowl. I tracked him down and maybe, I don't even know where that was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Let's meet at the Theory Bar on State and Hubbard. It's a block from your hotel, 1:30. I say, sounds good. I'll be the white guy drinking a beer.
We found each other. And that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. And then the first time that he came and hung out with us was 2015. It was actually my 30th birthday, his the day after. And we went out and I introduced him to Dave. And I was like, Dave, this is PFT, super talented. Like, you know, like how you I was like, to Dave, I was like, you know how you misspell stuff and like fuck things up? Like PFT does that, but he's doing it on purpose.
That's you and Chevy.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's San Francisco.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Dave was like, yeah, let's do it. And then we hired a bunch of people and it was kind of a rocket ship. And then we hired you guys.
When you
That's
you get
awesome.
hired there and you say 1 month, how long did it take you guys? It took you guys 1 month, but like how quickly were you like, we got to do a podcast? And then how?
Oh
quickly
no,
from that inception-
when I told Dave we got to hire PFT, I was like, we're doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast.
together. Yeah, we're doing
Nice.
it. And actually, an interesting part of this whole story is Hank was like very close to quitting Barstool at the time.
Why?
Because he went to college for a year and then started at Barstool when he was 19. I've known Hank since he's 19 years old. We did this thing called the Dixie Tour where Caleb, Busboy Benny, and they went down in the South. They went like campus to campus, big football games, whatever. So Hank like spent 4 months just getting fucked up, being on the road, being like, this is what real college looks like. And after the Dixie Tour, he kind of like sat me down. He's like, I'm thinking about maybe like going back to college or doing something, like kind of having almost like a little mini life crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, just stick with me for like another year. We're about to get bought by Chernin. We're about to hire this guy at PFT. I want you to produce the podcast. And that was the best decision he ever made. But yeah, he was very close. He was like, we had a heart to heart where he was like, I'm thinking about leaving Barstool and like doing something else. I don't know if I could do this. And yeah, so that was a good save.
What was he thinking, like film school?
I don't know. I think he was thinking film school and he just kind of was like, not lost, but just a little. It also was tough because he was in that Milton office and that wasn't, they say Milton tough for a reason. It was like you're thrown into the ringer where it's just like, you know, it's a pressure cooker.
Is the
being
Milton
there.
office that house?
It was a dentist's office.
That's
The
the
one
one that
like,
was in Boston.
Gaz
Yeah.
posted something last week. I want to say it was maybe when Smokes was talking about work hours,
Yeah.
but there was like a clip from like way back in the day
When Dave was
Feidelberg's on it.
sitting,
The
yeah.
guy was like, he was late a couple days in a
Dave
row.
sat at the door
saying 10:30
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Fights walks in the door, and I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
But that's the Milton office.
That's the Milton office. So yeah, that was like Gaz, Dave, Hank, Lewis. And there was other people like, you know, Coley was there for a little bit. Weird Haircut Seth was there. Pirate Simon. So yeah, it was kind of like a whole mishmash. And that was the first Barstool office that wasn't Dave's just apartment. And-
before Pardon My Take, what was the biggest thing going with Barstool then? Was it just a blog?
It was blog. It was Rundown. Rundown,
that's right.
Yeah, so Rundown
Smoke
was
for the
every day.
day.
Me, Kevin, and Dave.
Guess that ass.
Yeah. Guess that ass was pretty big. Guess that ass was pretty big.
We should bring that back.
We should. But yeah, it was the Rundown was like the big thing that was in KFC radio, but those were the big things that were kind of like our first foray into video and audio and all that stuff.
Was
So,
it awkward when Pardon My Take transcended as fast as you guys did? Like more from, I guess, your position. You're
Yeah.
coming into a new gig and probably
Yeah.
learning about it on the fly.
I'm
Yeah,
still learning
about,
about
you got to
Milton.
feel good
Yeah.
about it. Like
I'm
you're part of
still-
the biggest thing.
I'm still learning about like the past relationships that I had
Right.
no idea about. Like occasionally Hank will mention something. I was like, oh, I didn't know that about Pirate Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awkward. I'll say it. It was awkward. It was awkward in the fact that when we got to New York, everyone was kind of looking for their thing, and we had our thing very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like it was before Dave's like pizza reviews like blew up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was just this weird time where I think everyone was really hungry and like wanting to work really hard and try to find something that worked. And we just were lucky enough to find the thing that worked before everyone else. So I think there was a little tension there. But then as time went, like everyone kind of found their lane and it dissipated. So it like naturally dissipated. But I mean, you can understand like if everyone's going to one place, everyone's moving their family and doing everything, and a couple guys are like hit the ground running and just have this like shooting star success, it's going to cause a little tension.
Yeah.
But I mean, the crazy thing about Barstool, I think it's like a testament to it, is like Dave is still doing it. I'm still here. Kevin's still here. Like Feidelberg, Hank, like Gaz, all these guys that were original guys. There's a loyalty to Barstool that I don't think you find at many other companies. And I think it's pretty special.
Yeah.
Not to bring up the L word for you guys. Sorry.
What's the other one?
I told you guys though, I had a heart to heart with both of you. I told you guys straight up when you were talking about leaving, like I can't sit here and be like, man, how could you guys do this? Because I came into Barstool and PFT as well. Because PFT, even though I was at Barstool for 4 years before him, PFT was still like play 10.
I think maybe we had shirts.
Yeah,
I
we
think
had
I was
shirts.
like 12 maybe.
Yeah, right.
12
So
or 13.
So PFT, even though it's
But
like,
I still don't consider myself like I'm not an OG. There's
Right,
so much stuff happened before.
but he's
me.
as close to an OG as you get because it's been, I was at Barstool for 4 years before PFT came, but PFT's been at Barstool for 9 years. You know what I mean? So, but I told you guys, like, you can't compare it because this is my life's work. This is like my family. This is my, all these people that I've been working with, and like, they don't depend on me, but like part of it all working is me staying here and Dave staying here and PFT staying here. We're in a different circumstance than you guys. You know what I mean? Like if I were hired at Barstool in 2020 and had this success, I probably would have left too. You know what I mean? I probably would have gotten offered something and been like, I don't have the same years of everything built up. So, but I'll never have another boss besides Dave.
Yeah.
My agent hates when I say that, but I say it and I don't give a fuck because it's just like.
Do you ever, obviously this is an awkward question, I'm putting you in a tough spot, but do you guys ever think like, hey, if Pardon My Take was its own thing? Not in a way of like, you wish it did happen, but I'm sure there had to have been times along the way.
Oh, there's been
like,
multiple
especially
times.
because wasn't the ESPN thing pretty sensitive when it
Yeah,
started and then
yeah.
didn't?
Yep.
You guys were bummed, but ultimately it's like you're going with the brand, you're going with the
yeah,
team that you
and
guys
we were
with.
also like super naive at the time.
Very.
So we thought this was going to be cool. Hey, we're going to be on TV. That's awesome. TV at the time, like it was still the big thing,
Yeah.
right? And we had a couple people tell us like Dave was insistent that they were trying to hire us.
Yeah.
And me and Big Cat were like, I don't think so. I think they just want to do a show with us, which is cool. They were definitely.
And
trying
you're
to-
thinking
100%.
audience.
Were they trying to
They
snipe
were
you?
1,000,000% trying to. Like John Skipper brought us into his office and sat us down. Was like feeling us out, trying
Yeah.
to figure out like, am I going to make these guys an offer or what? Like
Mhm.
it was done like kind of behind the back, and we were like, why is everything so secretive?
We were so dumb.
And we were
Like
very
we were
dumb.
so
behind the
dumb.
back isn't like behind Dave's back, kind of.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Or-
he asked us personally to go there, and it wasn't like a meeting set up through Erica or Dave, and we
Yeah.
were just like, oh, okay. Like I
all the
think
other
back
production meetings were done through
Yeah.
like Erica
in
and
Dave,
Dave, and this was done outside of that. And
and I think back to it, and it's like we were so naive, we were so stupid. I learned so much from that experience. The biggest one being like, if a deal takes 8 months, 9 months to actually happen, you probably shouldn't do the deal, because it was like that was how long it took to get from like ESPN being like, oh, we want to do a TV show, to like getting through all the hoops and clearing everything. It's like, if you have to clear everything, you probably aren't going to have our back when the shit hits the fan.
Right.
And that turned out to be very true. But yeah, we were like, no, ESPN doesn't want to hire us. That's crazy. We're just going to do this show and it's going to be awesome and it's going to make Barstool bigger.
Right.
Mhm.
Way wrong.
very wrong about that.
And they didn't have our back at all.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest lesson is like Barstool has our back. Our fans have our back. We don't need ESPN. We don't need a TV show. We don't need all this stuff. Our fans are here. They're going to stick with us no matter what. So why, like I actually, and I know it sounds cliche, and I think both PFT and I have said this many times, but like going through the Barstool Van Talk thing was the best thing for us because once the dust settled, we realized like we have the #1 sports podcast. We don't need anything else.
Mhm.
Like, we have our fans right here. We don't need to go anywhere else. We have it to them. We can give it to them. We don't have anyone telling us what to do. Why would we ever mess that up? So every offer since then has been no thanks.
Yeah, if that never happens, you guys might be sitting here today being like, what if?
Yeah.
What if ESPN does come or Fox
Right.
or whatever?
And we've had times like, I mean, PFT's contract's been up. I've never become a free agent because I just haven't. But like and we're very open with each other about it. Like when his contract's been up, he's just like, I'm going to at least take some calls. Like I have to. And it's like, yeah, you have to.
You take the meetings and then they throw big numbers in front of you. At least this is how I felt. Like you think about the number, you're like, that's a cool number to hear. Like that's amazing. And then I think about, okay, well, I'd also be leaving part of my take if that were to happen. The show means a lot to me. We started it. We've seen it grow. We put so much effort into it. I love these guys. I love our fans. I feel a sense of responsibility to them too. Where it's like I had bands and shows that I loved growing up. And if they split up, like it really like affected you a little bit if you were committed to it. There's a lot of people out there that feel that way. And like that was a big part of saying like, no, I don't necessarily need to chase this huge number. Barstool, by the way, it's not like Barstool wasn't paying fair. Like they made good offers, but they were, other companies were trying to throw big dollars. And I was just like, you know what? Number one, I don't feel like breaking up this podcast. I don't feel like ending it. We're not done here. And number two, it would come with a lot more responsibility. And part of making this decision for me was you have to know what you like to do. And I like doing the show. I like the creative aspect. I like everything that goes with that. I don't think I'm good at starting my own company. I don't think I'm good at hiring people and keeping tabs on the administrative side of all that. That to me doesn't sound like fun. And I think that the show that I would create would suffer because I'm not, just totally locked in on the creative aspect. And so it was a combination of all those things. And also like, there's no better job in the world, in my opinion, than doing part of my take. And it became, the first time was like kind of hard to say no. The second time I was like, I don't even need to take the meetings. Like we're going to figure something out. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think too, when you look back at other shows, whether it be like Mike and Mike or Jesus and Mero, and like, no offense to those guys, but you can see what happens with the break, or like Mike or Francesa and Mad Dog, like
Belichick and Brady.
You can see, but all these breakups, you can see exactly what happens. There's one person that thinks they're the star, and they're like, I want to go get my thing. I'm bigger than you in this. Whereas like, I know, like personally, I think PFT feels the same way. If we split up, would I be able to have a successful podcast? Yeah, but it would be like 60% of, or 50% or 40% of what part of my take is. We would never separately be able to reach 100% of what part of my take is.
Gotcha.
So it's
It's
like
smart
having
that you
that
went
in
down to
your mind.
40%.
The ability,
there.
all of it.
Yeah, that was
But-
a big part of it. Like if I were to leave, I could start a show. It could be good.
But it would never.
And honestly, it would never surpass what part of my take was. And I would always be trying to chase that.
Right.
And
Right.
that's
So
not
you-
a healthy
like, I
place
think
to be mentally.
Each of us separately, if you just said round numbers, like if you're going 100%, I think each of us separately would reach 70% of our audience, right? Separately. We would never get 100.
Right.
And like, so it's the powers together is like I just know that's what it is. Neither of us are the star, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like we're like, oh, it's because of me. It's the whole thing.
Right.
And it's all the guys too. Like the great thing about our show too is like Hank is a very big part of it. He actually gets upset because we like when it comes to like money and stuff, or like things we're splitting up, we'll split it a third with Hank. He's like, I didn't do shit. We're like, dude, but you're a big part of this. You built this with us, and Max and me and all these guys.
Damn,
So
Sherm, you got to go.
yeah, did you hear that? Hank gets a third. He does though. He gets mad at us when we do. Like, I mean, we're not talking about like our contracts, but we're talking about like when we have revenue splits for things.
Right.
We always make sure everyone else gets something, because like we can't do this with just the two of us. Like it's the whole team.
But if you get, so that's awesome, because I agree with you. Like having the chemistry is way more than just going off and trying to do your own thing.
Right.
part of my take has been on the top for so long. Like, what's the next thing you guys are trying to chase? Like, what is the next, like, oh, this would be awesome to achieve this?
I don't know that we think that way. I think we let the show evolve naturally, depending on what's happening. Like, you can plan everything out, and if it doesn't happen organically, then it's not going to be that successful. But yeah, we're just going to keep doing what we do and try to find like the most natural paths for us to evolve it. Like, if there's new platform that comes out that we have to be on, then we'll find somebody that knows about that platform and we'll figure out how to optimize that. But I don't think that we've never sat down and had like a strategic like 2-year. What's our 2-year plan?
Well, yeah, and I think it's a weird feeling because in the media business, in sports, in anything, in business, a lot of people are always like, "What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing?" You see, like a media person, like start a podcast and they're on ESPN, then they're doing this, and it's like they're climbing the ladder. The Barstool Van Talks experience kind of told us like, "Hey, we're good where we're at on the ladder." You know what I mean? Like, we're never gonna be movie stars. We're never gonna have, a Netflix show, but I don't give a fuck. Like, where we're like, I think it's a very great feeling to have, to be like at peace at what you have and not constantly being like, what's the next thing? So I haven't thought about what's the next thing since Barstool Van Talk, and it's been the best feeling in the world because what's the next thing? It's Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, we're gonna record.
Yeah.
And I obviously in the back of my head, I'm like, we're getting older. Eventually we'll hit a point where people will start mocking us and be like, you're the old guys. But we also have an audience that's grown old with us. You know what I mean? So, and I welcome the time when we just get mocked for being old and forgetting shit. Guess what? We're going to keep doing it. And it's still going to be fun. If I'm having fun and I'm laughing, he's making me laugh, I'm making him laugh, we're going to keep doing it.
And if people are busting their balls for being old, it means they're still paying attention.
Right.
They're still listening.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're busting their balls because it's fun to make fun of people that you listen to
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
get that. You can't take everything seriously. It's when they just stop commenting altogether.
Right.
Stop
That would
saying
be
anything. That would be bad.
That would be the moment. But even when they stop, we'll probably keep doing it. Like we joke about it all the time. If we stopped, if you told us Barstool just cease to exist tomorrow, part of my take cease to exist tomorrow, what would you do? And the honest answer is I'd probably call up PFT, Hank, and Max and be like, hey, you guys want to come over and watch some football? And then we would just do the podcast just sitting there. Like when we flew here yesterday, we just did a full podcast on the plane.
Yeah.
They're like just talking,
That is awesome.
I can tell you from experience, it's not that bad when people make fun of you for forgetting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
don't know. And you don't have to be old to do it too.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
We
old.
just get to
That's
live
the- that's
forgetting
the
things on a
thing.
daily
Yeah.
basis. Goldfish brains.
What do you think we should do with the Will Compton Museum?
I kind of like the route he's going. He's just adding more Will Compton.
Yeah, we're
pieces
just
to
going
it.
to add all the Will Compton.
It's such
That's
it's such a
beautiful.
weird, when he brought it up the first time, it is a very like, it's like, yeah, I love that it got built in the first place. But if he did away with it, it's like, it's
couldn't.
forever no matter what.
We were never going to do away with it, but I do like the idea.
All I told him, I was like, just protect that, unless you give it back to me, but protect that Redskins jersey.
Yes, I got that. But yeah, I do think that in like 10 years, if we have like 50 Will Comptons just memorialized in that stall, it'd be very funny.
Yeah,
That'd be
statue
awesome.
made.
Yeah.
I mean, just and when Andrew Luck was here, I gave him a tour of the Will Compton Museum. And I was like, and here's Will's jersey from the Titans. And then here's other Will Compton at a TCU tailgate. And it's just like ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What did he think about the museum?
He liked it.
He
liked
did?
it a lot.
Did he
Yeah.
remember me as a player?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. He definitely did.
Did you ever play against him?
I don't
Do
know.
you
I don't
remember?
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
player.
know. I don't know.
You
I'm
had
sure we
to
played
have,
against
right?
the Colts. Yeah, I think we did.
2018 was his last year.
I'm trying to think.
2015, we played the NFC East.
PFT would probably
AFC
remember
South.
Yeah,
better than
I'm
me.
trying to remember if that team played the Colts.
But he was
I don't-
injured a couple of the years for like full years.
Yeah, but we in 2015,
Yeah, you know
we played
what?
all of the NFC East because I was in the AFC South.
We did play
Yeah.
at Indianapolis one time because that is where I got a spinal cord concussion.
Oh.
That's what you got
Running
night-nighted?
down on kickoff. Yeah, spinal cord concussion.
Spinal cord concussion just sounds way worse than any concussion.
It's like where the I don't even know the word, but they narrow like in your spine, like the fluid lines that go
Like
down
you
your
were close to
spine.
being
They
paralyzed.
kind of narrow, and they get an MRI to see if there's anything off with it. Came out clean. Your body just goes like a metal pole just hits or a bat just hits a pole.
Did they-
It just rattles.
Did they give you that injection that's like it makes you cold?
You know, they put you in a
Is
medically
that Blue
induced
Mountain
coma.
State, the little ice pick that goes up your ass?
You talking about
What
like the dye?
No,
Goes
no.
into the
it like
IV?
it like lowers your body temperature.
Yeah, like DeMar
think
Hamlin,
so.
when he went through his thing, they like put him in a medically induced coma where his body temperature was like 88.
No shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, Stu
No, I
Finer's
never heard
cool.
of
No,
that
I
before.
never got
That's
that.
crazy.
Then they got the clone out.
What's
I was
the,
never
what's the
that
biggest injury
badass.
you guys have ever sustained?
I tore up my ankle real bad, like ligaments, tendons. I still have terrible. I went actually to this place called Stretch Lab
Mm-hmm.
where they just stretch you out
Sure.
and they do a test in front of a computer and it shows like your weaknesses. And I was pretty good overall. And then it was just 2 red circles around my ankles. And I was
Both
like,
of them?
"Fuck."
That's so tough.
I got I've broken probably like 8 or 9 ribs, I think.
And at one time?
No, like over the course of
Oh,
my life.
Herniated disc. That was bad.
Bro-
broken
Yeah.
ribs are no joke.
Yeah. You
guys
There's
herniated
no way
discs?
to.
I don't think
Probably.
I'm herniated.
That one, I was literally, we actually they came over to my house because I couldn't get off the floor.
Really?
For
You're
like
just
3
laying
days.
down,
We did a
yeah.
podcast from my house. I was just sleeping on the floor. I just kept on telling my wife, I was like, just fucking shoot me.
Dude, we played the Cardinals one time, and I did something to like my SI joint, and we stayed in Arizona for the week before we went to San Francisco, and I literally just brushing my teeth,
Yeah.
getting out of bed, any kind of movement, I was like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
The only thing that helped was like kind of walking, so I'd stand up all day.
Walking a little.
And then
yeah.
once I got to bed, I was like, I pray to God I can walk when I get up in the morning.
Oh, when I herniated my disc the last time I was playing basketball, and I was like, I felt it like a real like knife in your back. And I was like, no, I'm good. I kept playing, got in an Uber home, got out of the Uber, and literally could not move. I stood at like the lamppost for 30 minutes because I couldn't move. It was fucking
Yeah,
brutal.
back
Mhm.
injuries.
It's kinda
are
like
Back
playing the
injuries
NFL.
are the worst.
Pick up
Yeah, a lot like
basketball.
play. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
like
a lot
the
like
NFL,
playing
a
the
lot like the
NFL.
NFL.
I've had
You guys
4
just did that question to fucking make us look like pussies.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I want to know what you've been through.
I think I've had
As I said it, I was like, yeah, these guys, I'm talking about a spinal concussion.
That is
I'm like,
insane.
I went for a loose ball and pickup and had an owie on my back.
it was like I got internally decapitated. I had to put my head back on inside my neck.
Dude.
I've had 4 concussions, but how many do you guys
Have
think
you
that
really?
you've? Yeah, well, 4 diagnosed.
Okay.
I've had 2.
Yeah, but how many would you guys say you're at?
I honestly I don't know. The only time I ever got held out the rest of the game, and we were already in the 4th quarter, and it was the last game of the season. I passed my baseline in the locker room and was ready to go back out there, but they're like, basically a minor concussion,
Mhm.
a mild
Yeah.
concussion,
Yeah.
but probably several. I mean, I had that instance where I'm like stiff internally for a minute, several times, but every time like I pass a test on the sideline, and you're kind of just you're back with it, or I think I am,
Mhm.
and you're just like you get back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I don't know how many diagnosed.
I've had like 3 or 4 maybe
Yeah.
diagnosed to like had to sit out, those types of things. But there's always you're in the middle of the game, you take a hard hit, you're kind of like,
Bell
that
rung.
was crazy.
Yeah,
for a
you see
minute.
the
Yeah.
stars.
Yeah, that was wild.
They wake up the next day and you know that something's not right.
Yeah,
That's the worst part.
That's kind of how like the first. I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. The first week of camp, I feel like it's just one long concussion because you have like your helmet on all
Yeah.
week, and you're like, it even hurts to have the helmet on. Then
You
you
have
have
like
a
neck
headache.
soreness.
The next
Mhm.
day, your neck's sore, and so and then after a week, you're like, okay, this is my new normal. This is my new baseline.
Yeah.
And then I would always go through like as soon as the season ended, I'd have like 3 weeks of fog where I'd be like kind
Oh.
of like tired, lethargic. My like putting words together was more tough than usual. And then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks in, I'd be like, okay, I feel fine.
Mhm.
It's all good now.
Every time you can't remember something in the back of your head, or you're like, oh fuck, that's a concussion.
As I get older, it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
It's-
feel like
it's
they're
just
trying to
normal,
get you
though.
though when
It's
they're
kind
trying
of
to do
it's
the.
kind of scary.
It's normal to forget stuff. You're psyching yourself out when you're like, oh,
It's
maybe
so
that's a
interesting,
concussion.
like being a young football player compared to being an old. Like as you get older, because when you're young, like truly, if you died on the gridiron, if
Mhm.
you like went and they're like they checked your pulse and it was like he's not with us
It's the
anymore.
most honorable way to
Like
go
that
out.
is you literally think to yourself like I can only pray today's that day for me.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you have kids or whatever, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Is there like a what if something actually happens? to
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. The
the point
scare,
where-
the fear
yeah,
starts.
Now that I'm
tripping.
done, I was talking to JP about this earlier today. Like, I feel like I have to constantly stay ahead of the sticks as a part of like nutrition and all that stuff because it's like you're going to decay eventually.
Yeah.
Like, just try to outlast it as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So I'm like super hypersensitive to it.
One thing I noticed growing up, because I played like different sports. I played a little bit of football. I played soccer. I played basketball. I played baseball. Every coach in every sport besides football knew that concussions were bad. I swear to God, this was not like people say like knowing what we know now about concussions and that they're not good. It's like I remember being 8 years old and somebody would get hit in the head and the coach would be like, no, we got to make sure you don't get concussed. You got to sit out for a little bit. Like going through high school on the high school soccer team, you got to freshman year, somebody got a concussion. Coach was like, you're sitting out 2 weeks. We can't risk that. And then in football, they'd be like, yeah, we don't know. Like concussions, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
We're still figuring this out. It's like it was the only sport that did not like even wrestlers. Wrestlers would be like, yeah, you're concussed, you can't wrestle.
Right.
In
I
football,
mean, yeah,
it
you
was
just
like,
think you're like a pussy if you don't like hurry up and
yeah.
get back
Some
out
of
there.
those
Truly.
old clips, like I do a radio hit in Chicago with Waddle and Sylvie, Waddle played for the Bears, and there's a clip of him. It was John Madden broadcast a game. He got concussed like 5 different times, and John Madden was like, "Oh, he's got the cobwebs again."
Yeah.
It's just like this is insane.
Yeah. That video of like Kiko Alonso playing, and then he like walks over the other sideline.
Yeah.
He's just so like not there.
It's
And
nuts.
the guys are like, "Oh, he doesn't know what sideline he's on." It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
he's
isn't
dead
that
inside
funny?
right there.
Yeah. haha.
he's like crawling off on his elbows, and then I was just like, looks to be a little shaken up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Get those cobwebs.
It is wild, man. It is crazy.
But I know you guys had a last question before. I have a question for you, Will, before we
Okay,
go.
I have another
So
question
this
for
is,
you guys.
Oh, you go
That's
first.
the last question.
I was gonna ask because you talked about the first time. I wanted to know if there's ever been like a friction between you guys. You talked about the first time you were negotiating; it was very hard to say no.
Mhm.
Is there ever a time you thought he was leaving, or vice versa?
The first
To where it was
time,
kind of weird having just entering into whatever, whether it's text conversation or in person.
I don't want to say it was weird. The first time that he had to like talk to people, it wasn't like, because we talked about it. Like we had a very open conversation about it. It was like, yeah, you have to do this. And it wasn't like tension. It was more just like bummed out. Like this would suck.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh fuck, like I can't believe he's gonna do this. It's more like I know how the business works. If someone offers him something crazy that he can't turn down, this is gonna bum me out real bad. So
Yeah.
it's more having that like hover over your head.
Yeah. And the first time I got dragged out, I think for like 6 months, the whole negotiating
Yeah.
process. And that
did suck.
drags you down, and it's like everything's developing on both sides. Like Barstool was changing. It was like right before the Penn deal, I think. And so things were changing on that end. Things were changing with the companies that were offering me stuff on the other end. And it was just like I would make sure to tell Big Cat like once a month, hey, here's where we're at, just so you know, this sucks. And then finally, when you make the decision, it's like, okay,
How weird
it's
was
all
it coming
good.
into the office knowing that it's all up in the air?
I don't think it was weird at all. I just didn't like when I was thinking about it too much.
Yeah.
And I will say the Penn deal kind of sucked in the fact that I wasn't allowed to say anything to anyone. So it was just Dave, Erica, and I. No one else knew because it's a publicly traded company.
Gotcha.
So it was like very
And you're in with Barstool.
Oh, so you're not allowed to say anything because the stock.
nothing.
Right.
Literally nothing. Like we had to sign all this paperwork. So like I couldn't tell PFT until like the day before it was announced. And that sucked. But it also was like, in my head, I'm like, it is good for all of us. We're all going to, make some money off this. So it's like, if I say something to someone and it fucks up this deal, I'll
Right.
never be able to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that did suck. That whole like having to not tell literally a soul.
Yeah.
Like I think the only people who knew were Dave, Erica, and then I told my wife, and that was it. Like there wasn't anyone else. So that did suck, but it worked out, and then it didn't work out, and then it worked out again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always got a way
you
of
guys
working
probably
out.
would have been hired if it wasn't for Penn.
Probably would have been hired or
Would not have.
We signed right before the pen was done.
Yeah, but
22 signed.
what Big Cat's saying to his point, obviously you take on investor money and everything else. They have the funds.
When did you guys sign?
February 2020.
Yeah, February 2020.
We
And
already
like 2 weeks later, you guys.
But we had
No, but-
it had been in
Got
the works
you.
for like 6 months.
And it was
And
at the
Penn-
Super Bowl in
in
January.
Miami. Yeah. But like Penn coming on to Barstool, their big thing was like, we're a $1 billion corporation. We're going to invest in the company. So like your guys' deal probably is because Penn bought us.
Mhm.
Our first deal though was just pure split revenue.
Yeah.
It was
But
like the
still,
first time
even
I was
like
on the
we
phone
were
with
in a
Dave.
spot
I think
where
there
we just
was
had
a conversation about an MG, and we were like, no.
Well,
let's
yeah,
bet
we're
on
just like, hey,
ourselves.
we'll take a higher rev share because they was like, look, you guys already have a little something going on. We don't want your IP. That's also in all the caller daddy stuff was going down.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys can keep your IP. We can talk about an MG and then splitting 50-50. So we decided to take like higher. It was all revenue split our
Yeah.
first deal. with
But
you guys.
Penn we were able to take chances on a lot of other stuff, which was awesome. All right, is you ready for my question?
I'm ready.
All right.
Well, is
Yeah.
this gonna be your last? Is this gonna be the last question, or can
This
I
is
ask
my
one
last question. You go.
Can I go?
Yeah.
I just want to know about Pup Punk. What the future holds for Pup Punk.
That's a good,
Good
question.
Are we
We're,
getting- are we in
we're
the
squirting
studio?
out kids. So
Fair.
we got Frankie having a kid, I think in May?
Yeah.
And then Roan having kids in May too. and it's
Twins.
like, yeah,
Which is
which
wild.
is nuts. And so we found out at the same, like right at the same time, we were doing a pup punk practice, and then Frankie is up there and he's singing like that Creed song with Arms Wide Open, or My Sacrifice or something like that. And then he's like, and by the way, guys, I'm singing this song because I'm about to be a dad in May. And then Rowan's like, oh shit, so you're in the first trimester right now. And I was like, that was some quick math from Rowan over there. Like,
Yeah.
how does he know what fucking trimester you're in right now? Like 45 minutes later, Rowan gets on the mic. He's like, guys, I'm also going to be a dad in May.
Oh, that is awesome.
And we're
That's
having
awesome.
twins, just completely alpha Frankie. Like, I shot two out.
males.
No, we got a couple songs that are in the tank that we've recorded, sound pretty good. We're gonna shoot some music videos for them, and then maybe play some festivals this summer.
I love it. Second part question
Yeah.
is, if you guys are ever back in Nashville, I
Mhm.
want to come back on stage.
Yeah.
I
gotta-
thoroughly, I enjoy that so much.
Yeah,
Being
Yeah.
able to sing, that's my favorite genre of music. I love it. I'm all about it. I don't care if I sound good or not.
hmm
I am all about that.
Okay, you're in. You're in.
I love it.
Yep.
So Beer Olympics, putt pump.
Beer Olympics for sure.
So it sounds like we're not even leaving Barstool anymore.
All right, my last question for Will, because we're probably never going to speak again. Do you want one last time for PFT and I to explain to you why you go for 2 down 14 with like 5 minutes left?
You
Do
can
you
break
want us to explain it to you? Because in
Big Cat,
in
Big
like
Cat, Big
2
Cat.
months from now,
Listen.
when this or next season when the situation comes up and you're like, what the fuck? Why are they doing this? We're not picking up the call. We're not going to help you.
You
through
don't
this.
have to. I can still just tweet it out.
Okay,
in the
well, we're
abyss.
not going to help you through this.
You can explain it, but we've also talked about it. And you and PFT can explain those rules to me. Every coach that's come through
no,
has talked about
that's not true.
they can shove analytics up their ass.
That it's not analytics. It's just math.
I understand the
No,
math.
you don't.
Will, do
you
you-
don't understand
There's
the
no
math.
there's no math for momentum.
Do you know that
Oh,
do you know anything
Math
is
and
analytics?
momentum. That
You're-
is a bar.
Will is doing the thing where you use the term analytics to describe a number that you don't like,
yes,
but you use all the numbers that you do like all the time.
correct.
Like if you're, hey Will, let me ask you this: you're down by 21 points. It's the third quarter. What's your percentage of run versus pass going to be?
High pass.
That's analytics. Here he goes, the fucking
Damn.
stat nerd over
Look
here
at you
doing analytics on us.
doing the crunching numbers, nerd boy.
Yeah,
Look, I don't.
Don't let him call you nerd.
math
No,
has
I know.
never
I
won
don't
a
let him do
Super
that.
Bowl. Will
Get him.
they don't even use numbers for the Super Bowl? It's
It's math.
Roman numerals.
I understand it's math, bro, but it's like if you don't get it,
You can.
you're
get it
gonna
the
have.
next- You're gonna.
But that doesn't mean you're going to get it the
But
next
you
time.
statistically, if you trust your
Statistics,
offense,
it's 50-50.
it's
or what it-
usually
what it-
higher if you have a good play.
Yeah, but
And what about if
We've
you
been-
do
we've
get? You
been in
just
it.
think of the negative, not the positive. Mike Vrabel, the guy you love, did this against the Dolphins, and it won them the game.
I know.
I don't
Taylor
remember that.
knows.
I don't remember. Was that
You don't
2018?
That was,
2018?
yeah, it was
Go
Miami.
pull it up.
No, it was
pull it up.
2 years ago, they were
Dolphins,
kinda-
Titans,
they were
Monday
kinda
Night
out of it
Football.
also.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what.
Dolphins,
I mean, they're
Titans,
already out of
Monday
the
Night
playoffs.
legacy
Football.
game.
Mhm.
Dan Campbell Lions a couple years ago
Yeah.
when they're instead of kicking a field goal.
No,
for
that's
three,
something
This is-
different.
this
I'm
is
not
different.
talking about
okay,
that.
all right.
I'm talking
But that's
about
another.
down
That's another
No,
one when
I'm
okay.
talking
analytics
about
came
down
out.
14 with 3 possessions left in the game, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. You score a touchdown, you go for 2.
Why would you do that?
because if you get
Because
it,
there's only going to be
then
like,
you can
you're
win
only
the
gonna have,
field
like,
goal. If
there's only
you
gonna be, what,
you can
3
win the game
possessions
if
left
you
in the
score a
game?
touchdown.
It's
you get an
stopping
extra
the
point.
ball again.
Yeah.
You
There's
don't
only
do
gonna be
it
3 possessions
when
left
people,
in the
I don't
game.
like it.
When people ask, like, would you do it in the third quarter? No, it's a very specific set of circumstances where you're down 14 and there's, say, 5 minutes left. You know the only way you're going to win this game is you got to score, stop, and score. You can't let them score again.
Mhm.
So you're going to have to make up those 14. Go for 2 the first time. If you don't get it, you go for 2 the second time. Statistically speaking, most NFL offenses have 2-point plays that are over 50%. So you're having 2 chances, over 50% chance you're going to get one of them. But if you get the first one, you can win in regulation.
And does it always work? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't.
Look at it right here.
But it will work more often than
Look
not.
at that. Going for 2 with how much time? 2:40 left.
Mm-hmm.
They're down 8. So they just scored. It was 27 to 13. So they were down 14. They got the touchdown. They went for 2, 27-21. Then they stopped, got a touchdown, kicked the extra point, won in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that.
All right, good. He doesn't hate it.
Let's go.
The time we started to go back and forth though was not over.
Well, no, Dan
Situation
Campbell
like
is
this.
specifically.
It was analytics overall,
Dan, and
Okay.
Dan
and in
Campbell,
that field goal moment is what.
and I truly believe in Dan Campbell. Like, I think there's a shock factor when he goes for these when you're sitting on your couch. But if you talk to anyone on the Lions, they're like, we know we're going for it. Like we know we're doing this. We're playing pedal to the metal. You can disagree with the pedal to the metal, but he's consistently that way all the time. He's not going off gut vibes.
Right.
He's not like, oh, this
It's
time
the
I'm going to
culture
kick
of that
it.
team. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Right.
like we're going to fucking go for it, and we're going to step on their throat.
Right. So
But
look
man,
at
when they don't get it, you're like, oh,
But look at the
Bro.
Commanders.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Commanders game against the Lions.
and look at the Commanders this year
Yeah.
in general. If you want to talk about like the upside of doing it, Dan Quinn was as aggressive. I think he was more aggressive
and more
than Dan
successful,
Campbell.
right?
Yeah.
And it worked, and we got to the fucking NFC Championship game. Like Washington did that
The Commanders.
because of the
That
aggressive
game,
nature
the
of our
first drive
coach.
against the Eagles was crazy.
But the
though.
Commanders
For-
Lions
on the
game,
third time.
Yeah.
They're 9-point dogs. They go for it on their first 4th down. They don't get it. Marcus Mariota, everything gets fucked up. Dan Quinn wasn't like, oh shit.
You know what he
we didn't
does?
get it. No, he went for, and then they got the next 3 of them.
You know what the Dans do really good? They put themselves in the
Go
mindset
off. Yeah.
of an opposing team's fan,
Yeah.
which more coaches should do.
Correct.
Like if you're watching at home and you're a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that first drive, I know we got our asses kicked, but that first drive, we're marching down the field, we keep going for it on 4th down. Eagles fans are like, I wish they'd fucking kick a field goal.
Yeah.
I wish they'd punt, you know? And if you can convert on those, like think about how defeated they are when we do the thing that they don't want us to do. That's how more coaches should look at it. Like, what is he afraid of on the other side? Is he happy that I'm kicking the ball? If so, fucking go for it. Pull your nuts out. This is football.
To be honest with you, like that made so much sense.
Yeah.
It's football.
yeah,
And
that
you
was-
kinda
that was-
juiced
that
me
was
up
really
that
That's not
good.
speech.
converting. It
But
is true because you
I'm
sit
the
there and you're
man
like,
up.
The Commanders' first drive, they go for it twice on 4th down. I just said this, and the third time they end up kicking the field goal.
yeah.
Yeah.
You should have gone for it. On the
I think
fourth
that
down.
was like
that's-
3rd and 8.
And that's
No.
where
Or 4th and 8?
No, it
Fourth
was
and, like,
still
5.
short, but that's where the
Okay.
math comes into it, where that field goal, you have a higher percentage of making that than you would kicking like a 51
Here we
yard
go with
field
numbers
goal.
again, man.
But yeah, I would have been
Numbers
fine
get
with going for
confusing.
that.
Don't
I
be
would have
scared
been okay
of
with it.
numbers.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, they're your friend.
Don't be scared of numbers.
Yeah,
What's your
I
favorite
just-
number?
77.
51.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty
Good
good.
answers.
Simple.
Yeah.
Good answers. But I mean, the Eagles
Clearly.
go. The
Did you
Eagles
ever
go
call
for it
yourself
on
like the middle of the field, area 51?
No,
God,
you think I have a brain to think like that?
That's not that hard to
yeah,
think that.
exactly.
the Eagles and Chiefs are two.
She just brought it out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
The Eagles and Chiefs are 2 of the most aggressive teams. The Eagles specifically,
Mhm.
they're very aggressive.
Yeah, look, I'm with you.
Here's some deep math.
Sounds like you want to
A
punt.
lot of these coaches.
No, I don't want to punt.
Sounds like
I
you wanna
like the
punt.
3,
Sounds
taking
like you
the
like to
3
punt.
over
Give
going
him,
for it.
Give him your fun hypothetical of this.
He
game.
knows the
Oh, yeah,
hypothetical.
you do
that
the
on
crystal ball
Football Show?
hypothetical.
Yeah.
But a lot of
He
these
wants it.
coaches.
And you go for it in that hypothetical.
Have to go for it.
I know. I'm looking
Keep
for
the ball
I'm
out of
looking for a
Mahomes'
D&D
hands.
to where the math comes in and you're like, all right, we're gonna punt the ball.
That's what.
Ultimately, I want to see Mahomes down
Pete-
4, inside the 10, a minute 20 left, 2 timeouts. I want to see that.
Only quarterback to go 7-0.
But I think the Eagles should go for it. Like the Eagles should any chance they get. I know
4th
it's
and
like,
5, their own 45.
Yeah, but I know it's stupid. Like if the Eagles are, let's say, up 7, they go up 7 with a touchdown. Like I'm not a fan of this, but when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, I would be. Go for 2 to make it a 2-possession game. Because like if you keep it a 1-possession game with Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna kill you.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna kill you. And I normally would say go kick that extra
See, I don't
point,
like that one.
go up 8 so that they have to score and they get a 2-point conversion. But with Patrick Mahomes specifically, if you have a chance to go up 2 scores, you have to do it.
If he's got the ball in his hands,
Oh,
the last possession of the game, the ball's
It's
in his
over.
hands and it's a 1-score game.
it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
But think about this now. A lot of these coaches that are going forward on 4th and short, they're calling plays on 2nd down,
Correct.
3rd down, knowing they don't have to get 10
That's
yards.
what Dan
Right,
Campbell
right.
does.
So
It's
it opens
all-
up the playbook
Yes.
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you only have to get a certain, like instead of getting 4 yards per carry,
Right.
per
Mhm.
play, you can go
When
to
it's
3 or
when
2.
it's
Yeah.
when
It
it's
still feel like you're in
when
control.
it's 3rd and 8, you don't say we have to throw it to the sticks.
Right.
You have to just throw it 7. You got to
There's
get
no
7
panic
yards.
calls.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't hate it at all.
I
I
like
think we
we're
converting
converting.
So
guys.
punting is going to die soon.
You
Based
started-
off the Commanders
you
and the
were
Lions,
converting me
like,
a
punting
lot
is
right
going to
there.
go away
And
soon.
we
I
have
still
such a
disagree
good
with-
punter too.
Not going for it versus taking the 3.
What do you mean?
Obviously,
play to
taking the
win the
3 is not a
game.
guarantee.
You play to win the game.
In what situation?
You play to win.
Basically,
the game.
Detroit last year.
He was mad.
But-
at Dan
but it
Campbell
worked.
last year.
No, it didn't.
It worked. They didn't execute. He dropped the play. He was wide open.
You
Hit him
also
in the
If
hands.
you take the 3,
You
there.
also
That's part of the process.
You
Easy with
the
also
finger.
You also just assume every field goal is made.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
don't.
Which
You
is-
you don't use the numbers when it comes to the field. Like I remember the Lions kicker last year. It was like outdoors over 45 yards. He was like 50%. You don't use those numbers.
Well, it's because
You're just like, oh,
he's getting paid
you think
millions of
every
dollars, he
kicker
better
is
fucking
Brandon
make it.
Aubrey. You do. You're like, it's
Yeah.
it's 60 yarder. He's got
that's
it.
fair. That's fair.
I think another big part of it with the Commanders was we didn't really trust our defense. So it's like
That's also a
It's like
Lions
you got-
thing.
you gotta
where their
score points.
defense was fucked up at the end of the season. It's like
Yeah.
we can't expose them.
It'd have been so great to see Aiden Hutchinson come back for that Super Bowl. What a story that would
I
have been.
know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up this twisted question.
It's
we
right
did.
there.
How
It's right
cool
there.
would
Sherm's
this
got
week
it
have
for
been
you.
if it was Bills
Sherm,
Commanders?
this is the last time Sherm's ever going to pull up anything for this podcast.
Yeah, you want to? Yeah.
You guys, by the
Great
way,
call.
you guys can all write down numbers too. I'll take you all as a package. Okay, all right, done.
But
you
if
know
it's
what?
above Sherm,
Done.
if it's above
Whatever
Sherm,
it is.
by $1, no deal. Sherm's top dog.
Oh, I like that.
This twisted question.
Write down your number. Write
Because-
down your number right now. If it's $1 over Sherm.
Sherm's a fucking
Sherm, you
star.
been telling everyone your number?
This twisted question is brought to us by Twisted Tea. Twisted Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol.
Come on, Will. You got
Full
to
of
stay in
flavor
it.
and very
Stay in
refreshing.
it.
Twisted Tea goes down smooth. There is no carbonation, which makes it easy to drink all day long. Twisted Tea feels fun and celebrates extreme fandom on game day, and it is the perfect alcohol or beverage for game day, whether tailgating in the parking lot, watching at a bar, or watching with friends at home. Twisted Tea is there to turn up your game day, keep it twisted with the boys, and grab a refreshing Twisted Tea.
That was
Stay
great.
in
That
it.
was
Way
great.
to
And you know
stay
what?
in
it.
Will, I'm going to defend you. There's a lot of people that are like, well, Will Compton, dumb jock. Will was never good enough to be a jock. Okay? So just chill the fuck out, you trolls.
Back off. Back off.
Oh my God, it hurt. If there was a podcast, even Barstool Sports, that you somewhat enjoyed working with, what would be your advice for them in the future as they pursue a new opportunity?
This is very clearly about Brandon Walker as he prepares to leave.
I would first say you're making a terrible mistake. No, I'm just kidding. What would be your?
I would wish them good luck,
Yeah.
and I would say maybe start your own meme coin. Really bring the community together.
Smart.
Yeah, I feel
Get
like
us to
that's a
fall
good
That's the
quick
thing
idea.
about
with that.
PFT, man. He's always one step ahead.
Yeah.
Real advice, I would say the outside world gets very noisy, and you just have to, like you guys know with the locker room, it's as long as the people inside the room feel good about what they're doing, making each other laugh, everything else is just noise. It really is.
That's-
like
that's
it's as long as we make each other laugh, and Max and Hank and memes, we all make each other laugh. Whatever people are going to nitpick every little thing you do in this profession, and it's just noise.
Yeah,
That's
don't-
it.
Don't try to chase anything.
Yeah.
Like, focus. Big Cat's right. Focus on like what's in the room.
And you can't listen when you listen to noise. You then change how you act. You know what I mean? Like there is such a thing as too much feedback, where it's like if one person says, "Oh, I didn't like this" or "I didn't like that," then you change it. Like there are people, I can guarantee you. I've shut off most of the outside noise, but I can guarantee you there are AWLs who don't like our fastest 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And imagine if we listened to them and not listen to the silent majority of people who love it and who like they're not saying anything because they love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the vocal minority that you can't let them dictate how you do your content.
It's also something that we forget all the time, that there are a lot of people that listen to the podcast that don't tweet at us.
Right.
That
Don't have social
right.
media.
That don't comment on YouTube. That don't
The
comment
majority.
on Instagram. Yeah, the majority.
Mhm.
So like you're not hearing feedback from them. You're hearing feedback from people that like are very active and part of that, which is great. Like sometimes it's good feedback, but you can't don't change what you're trying to do because like, oh, there's 5 people that told us this sucks. you
Right.
know?
I love the people who interact with the show on Twitter or Reddit or wherever they're doing the YouTube comments, but like you have to remember that 99.999% of the people who are listening are not on those things. And if you listen to just those things, you're just going to cater to the 0.001%, and then it's going to change everything you do. So
Solid
don't listen to the
advice.
noise.
That's great
Solid
advice,
advice
boys.
for a podcast.
Don't listen to the noise. Just be yourself, boys.
You could also do like a Call Her Daddy and just pivot to talking about trauma
Yeah.
and like getting real deep with it.
Also,
I'd love to hear that.
I would say for you guys specifically, like just wait for us to do stuff and then just rip it off.
Oh, we'll be out there. I think we're going to 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
What did he say earlier? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday?
That's what we were just talking about a couple days ago. We're gonna do.
I would
that.
love that if their pod came out on Sundays.
That'd
That'd be so good.
I thought this was. I actually thought you guys sitting down with us was going to be just like end of a 5-year bit where you're like, yeah, we honestly like Dave hired us to copy you guys and just see if you were cool with it. It's like we passed. We were pretty cool with it.
I know.
Can't wait to see what you guys do next. So we can do it. It's gonna be awesome, man.
We love you guys.
I mean,
though.
we'll never shake that. We'll never shake that.
you
By
guys-
the loud minority. They said it. Loud minority.
Yeah, but you guys,
Yeah, take it real serious. Loud minority.
Sons of bitches.
You guys don't mean shit.
You don't like minorities? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he put some stink on it.
Damn, Will.
When he was like,
yeah, you were emphasizing the wrong word there.
You loud minority.
minorities.
You
yeah.
shut the fuck up, you
Whoa.
loud minority.
Whoa.
The new DEI.
I've told both of you this separately, but like you guys are gonna kill it, and I'm proud of you guys. One, because this is a really hard business to be in, and I'm happy for you guys because it's a dream. Like you get to keep doing your dream, and you get paid $140 million, which is insane.
I do appreciate that. And that
Yeah.
conversation solo and that conversation
Yeah.
now was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
PFT.
I'm happy for you guys. I really
Can we
am.
get $1? Can we
Yeah.
hold $1.
I hope I hope that you guys are successful because I think that means if people come to Barstool, they get big, they go somewhere else and they're success. That means that more people who are talented on the come up are going to want to work for Barstool to have that same opportunity. So I'm a big rising tide lifts all boats, guys. Also, one piece of advice: if one of you could like accidentally go live on Instagram while you're boning somebody,
That'd be sick.
that would be
Sure.
awesome.
That'd be
That
cool.
would be awesome.
It has to be
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Has to be.
PFT's right though. The rising tide thing, like when you realize that like this world is too tough anyway, and like the pie is big enough, like everyone can get a slice of the pie.
Mhm.
Not everything's got to be a competition. Not everyone's gonna be like, oh, they did that, fuck them. Like that's so you'll kill yourself doing that.
Yeah, I never want to become an old bitter guy in the business,
Right.
That hates it when people are successful.
Right.
We love you guys.
We love you too.
Love you too.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
Good
How
luck.
long's this pod been? It's been a good little pod.
Godspeed.
140.
140.
Love it.
Sherm.
140 million.
Yeah, it's like
Sherm, I'm thinking corner office. You like that? Okay.
He said,
Talk
we'll
ball.
talk.
You guys will talk ball.
Would
Just
you guys
Sherm
be
will
mad
just
if
walk
I
out of the
actually hired
room.
Sherm?
I'd be upset. I
Okay.
do love
I'd be
having
bummed
no.
out. I'd be
Yeah.
sad.
you should not have
I mean,
told
if
us
you
that.
paid Sherm a lot, it's like, yeah, he's
It's
got to
kind
go.
of like you
Rising
can't. You'd be a
tide.
hypocrite if
Right.
you said you can't take it.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity.
Big opportunity.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have to
a
see those
spite
checks. though.
hire. I might.
If you're gonna leave to go to PMT, you have to send me your stipend every single month. Your bank statement.
I might just give him a no-show job. He didn't have to move. Spite hire.
He's just playing PUBG all day, chasing chicken
Yeah.
dinners, getting paid.
No
We're
doubt.
paying
Just
him to
getting
stay
paid.
away.
We're in the same group chat. Just be like, hey, when we going on?
Yeah.
All right, boys. Appreciate
All right,
you.
Appreciate you.
Big hugs, tiny kisses.